Muy buenas. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Ya estamos aquí, estamos en directo. Se viene. Aquí tenemos a un grande, a un grandioso. Tenemos a Shawn James. Bienvenido, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Muchas gracias por invitarle, está encantado de estar aquí.
Gente, ahora sí que ya se acabó. Ya no hay marcha atrás. Estamos aquí. Vamos a pasar un rato con él agradable, divertido. Espero que, Shawn, no te arrepientas de haberte apuntado a esta aventura con nosotros.
We hope you don't regret your time with us. We're gonna have a fun time, a great time. So thank you for coming.
Absolutely. It's going to be wonderful. Sorry I was a bit late. My internet wasn't good, so I had to rush to the studio, as you can see all around me. This is actually where we're recording my new album right now. So you get a little bit of a glimpse.
Wow. Dice que lo siente mucho por el retraso, su internet no funciona muy bien y ha tenido que ir corriendo al estudio, que actualmente es el estudio donde está grabando el nuevo disco, así que tenéis la oportunidad de ver un poquito de dónde se está cosiendo su nuevo álbum.
Grandioso. Espera, que tengo las alertas puestas, que no sé cómo que he hecho. Espera, un segundo. Voy a quitar las alertas porque si no me van a dejar sordo. Otra vez, espera.
Hola.
He's having some trouble with the alerts of the chat, so he's trying to mute them because people got crazy and excited by seeing your studio.
Vale. Genial. Qué bueno que estés en el estudio justo donde estás haciendo tu último disco, Shawn. Mira, antes que sepas que yo siempre empiezo con la misma pregunta para todos los que vienen aquí a nuestro programa y que nos gusta escuchar de vosotros. Es decir, cuéntanos, Shawn. Cuéntanos, ¿quién es Shawn James?
So Luis always starts with the same question for opening the interviews, and we would like to know or to hear by yourself, who is Shawn James?
I am a musician. I'm a soul singer from Chicago, Illinois, and I never thought that I would be able to make music and travel around the world playing for people, but life has a funny way of working out, so I feel extremely privileged and honored to be able to do this. So yeah, I am a songwriter and a singer and a touring artist from Chicago, Illinois.
Dice que es un músico, un cantante de soul de Chicago, Illinois, que nunca pensó en que llegaría a hacer música y a viajar por todo el mundo a tocar para gente y que se siente muy honrado y muy privilegiado de poder hacer eso. Así que es un músico, un cantante y un viajante por el mundo tocando para gente.
Precioso.
Un viajero.
Shawn, antes de continuar, me gustaría preguntar cómo se encuentra tu madre. Espero que esté más fuerte todavía.
So before moving on, Luis would like to ask how is your mother feeling, and he hopes she's feeling stronger now.
That is very sweet of you to ask. She's got out of surgery a few weeks ago. She's still in a lot of pain, but she's gradually progressing day by day. There are still some issues, but she has to heal first to find out. But she's going to be okay in time. You know, it just takes a long time, unfortunately.
Que dice que muchísimas gracias por preguntar, que ha sido muy, muy dulce por tu parte, que hace unas pocas semanas tuvo una operación, que todavía se encuentra con muchísimo dolor, que hay muchas cosas que resolver, pero que progresa bien y se sabrá más durante las próximas semanas, pero que sí, que está mejor, que muchas gracias.
Perfecto. Seguro que sale y irá todo súper bien, segurísimo. Shawn.
He hopes that he says everything is going to be all right, so we hope for the best.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Que él también, muchas gracias.
Shawn, curiosidades que tenemos es, por ejemplo, cómo te inicias en el mundo de la música. Es decir, ¿tú ya de pequeño tenías claro que ibas a ser músico?
So one of the first questions is, how did you start in the world of music? Did you had it clear when you were a child that you wanted to be a musician?
You know, I didn't ever know that I was or wanted to be a professional musician, so you would say. My mother said when I was young, I was always singing, and so I had this natural ability, I suppose, And then when I got into school, I got into choir and learned a little bit more about the technical side of how to sing and the technique. And from there, he put me into opera classes. And, you know, that between the schooling and the church I grew up in, which was a lot of soulful gospel music, that really gave me a release. And through hard times, through, you know, having an escape and things like that. So, yeah, I never knew that this was possible. I never had intention to be a singer or a professional musician. It just kind of happened that way. You know, it was a love of music first, and then later I found out that I could make a career and a living out of it.
Dice que bueno, que no, en realidad nunca supo que quería ser un profesional, un músico profesional. Que dice que su madre siempre dice que de pequeño siempre estaba cantando, así que debía tener una habilidad natural para hacerlo, y que más tarde en el colegio se metió en el coro, donde pudo aprender la parte más técnica, aprender un poco esa técnica de cómo cantar. Su madre le metió en clases de ópera, y que entre el colegio y la iglesia donde se cantaba, donde había mucho gospel y mucho soul, le daban como esa vía de escape, esa sí, ese efecto liberador de tiempos más duros, una vía de escape, perdón que no me repito, que nunca supo que era posible conseguir ser un músico profesional, que nunca realmente tuvo esa intención, pero que pasó de esa manera, ocurrió. Y que fue primero el amor a la música y más tarde convertirse en su carrera profesional.
Muy bien. Entonces, te dedicas a la música, tal. Evidentemente, yo me voy directo ya. Por lo que yo sé, Through the Valley la cantaste o la compusiste ya hace unos cuantos años. Cuéntanos la historia de esa canción.
So for what Luis knows, you composed Through the Valley a long time ago. So where does that song come from?
Yeah, I wrote Through the Valley. It came out on the album in 2012, but I believe I wrote it in 2010, 2011. It comes from a place, a few different places. You know, a lot of my stories I write in mythology, and they represent, I'll tell a mythological tale, and they have a little bit of real life experience and truth in them. But I got a call from my sister one day, and she was upset and she was crying, and she told me that, you know, the church and the school that she was going to just didn't understand her, and you know, they kind of talked down to her and made her feel like she wasn't like one of them, like she was not normal, like there was something wrong with her. And she started to have a lot of dark thoughts. And you know, I kind of had the same experience growing up with the church, and I do not think that all religions are bad at all. It's not what I'm saying, but some individuals can put a bad spin on things like that. And so after I got off the phone with her, you know, I comforted her. I told her my story and how it was similar. And I got off the phone and I was so angry. I was so angry that I started writing this song, and it turned out to be Through the Valley, based on the 23rd Psalm. So I took the Bible passage of the 23rd Psalm, and then I kind of molded it into what I wanted it to be. You know, this man who's alone in life, and he's got to survive, and he's got to do what it takes to live, and unfortunately he's blind to all the evil in the world, and so he kind of makes his own religion and his own way of life, and it's one based on survival. And that's really where Through the Valley comes from. There's a bunch of meanings even deeper than that you know, I could get into with it, but that's the basis of where it came from.
Dice que Through the Valley fue compuesta, bueno, que salió en en el álbum de 2012, pero que fue compuesta durante 2010-2011. Él escribe mucho sobre mitología, sobre cuentos mitológicos, mezclados con experiencias de la vida real, con verdades. Y que un día le llamó su hermana, que estaba muy triste, estaba llorando, y el- al parecer en el colegio al que ella iba, la iglesia del colegio, no la entendía, la hacía sentir mal, como si no fuera normal, como si tuviera un problema, ella no era como los demás, y ella empezó a tener pensamientos oscuros. Shawn había tenido una experiencia muy parecida. Con esto no quiere decir que las religiones sean malas ni nada, es simplemente pues que a veces hay individuos que le dan este cariz, pero que él no piensa para nada que las religiones sean malas de ninguna manera. Que bueno, que cuando estaba al teléfono con su hermana, después de intentar calmarla y tranquilizarla y apoyarla, estaba tan enfadado que empezó a escribir la canción y esa canción fue Through the Valley. Él cogió la Biblia, uno de los pasajes de la Biblia de un hombre que está solo, que quiere sobrevivir, que quiere hacer lo necesario para poder sobrevivir, que es ciego a todo mal, y que básicamente eso es de donde viene la canción, que hay un montón de otros significados mucho más profundos, pero que básicamente la historia que nos ha contado es de donde viene la canción.
Enorme. Precioso, Shawn.
It's beautiful, Shawn.
Thank you, thank you.
Vamos a calentar un poco el ambiente, Shawn, ¿te parece?
Do you want to heat up the audience a little bit?
Yeah. I come prepared.
Dice,
Alright,
chicos, que ha venido preparado.
So yeah, I'm gonna play you guys a song, if that's all right. I'm gonna take
Os
these
va,
out.
os va a cantar una canción, se quita los auriculares, así que prepararos.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil because I'm blind to it all. In my mind and my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell on this earth forevermore. Said I walk beside the still waters, and they restore my soul, but I can't walk on the path of the right, 'cause I'm wrong. Well, I came upon a man at the top of a hill. He called himself the savior of the human race. Said he come to save the world from destruction and pain. I said, how can you save the world from itself? jambalaya. Oh, and I walk beside the still waters and lay, restore my soul. But I know when I die, my soul is dead. Now I know when I die, my soul is dead. Now I know when I die, my soul is dead.
Wow. I don't want to clap that much hard, but
no te escucha,
oh my gosh.
no te escucha.
All right.
¡Wow!
Wow.
Thank you. I know I'm just using the computer speakers here, so
Wow,
I hope the
wow.
quality is okay.
¡Fua!
Give me 1 second because I lost my pen, so I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Hola.
Oh, that was so beautiful. And
¿Impresionado?
I've seen you live, but having you here, that's so much great. Lo siento, chat, que me estoy emocionando. Ha sido una pasada y the chat is crazy. It's going, they are all crazy and they're just clapping. And I don't know if you can see the chat, but
I can't actually. I was trying to find out how to, but let's see.
Dale, les estaba diciendo, chicos, que le estáis aplaudiendo y que estáis todos igual de tocaos que Luis y que yo.
Joder, es lágrima viva, más lágrima de emoción de todos los sentimientos que transmite la canción. Su voz es increíble. Díselo porque transmite lo que no está escrito,
Luis is very touched. He says he's a bit crying because it's such an emotional song, and you really can touch our hearts. So,
well, that's the goal, through the music of what I do, is to make people feel something and hopefully release and put in. A lot of times in my life, I've had feelings and things I didn't know how to put into words, and other musicians, through their songs or what they did or different art forms, were able to help me put that into words and to feel what I was, to release it. And so that's the goal. And then hopefully the third goal is to inspire, and to show people that they can do this too, and that it's not impossible.
Dice que muchísimas gracias, que ese al final esa es la meta, el conseguir que la gente pueda sentir a través de la música, que muchas veces él se sentía que no conseguía poner sus sentimientos con palabras, no conseguía traducir sus sentimientos a palabras, y que la música también le hacía sentir y sacarlo hacia afuera, y que otra meta es inspirar a otra gente, igual que lo inspiraron a él, a que hacer sentir de esa manera es posible y ayuda.
Pues mira, una de las cosas que tenía en mente, hace una semana entrevistamos a un ilustrador de arte conceptual y hubo una pregunta de en quién se ha inspirado o en quién le ha ayudado a poderse inspirar, ¿no? Entonces, para ti, Shawn, ¿quiénes han sido esos artistas en los que te ha ayudado a poderte inspirar?
Last week we interviewed an illustrator, a concept artist, and we asked him about his inspiration. So Luis would like to ask the same question to you. So which artist or what did inspire you
You know, first and foremost, life and finding ways of dealing with stuff, you know, and kind of, like I said, releasing or finding an escape or something like that. And music was always my escape growing up. But in terms of other artists, you know, I'm hugely impacted by a lot of gospel, blues, R&B, and soul. People like, in the blues side, Son House, Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and people like that. They taught me how to inject intensity of soul and vibrato in the voice to really execute what you wanted to get across. And the same with the gospel music. People like Aretha Franklin and Nina Simone is one of my favorites because of her improvisation. Like she always has a structure to a song. And then, you know, I learned through her what it is to improvise and to in the moment feel and to adjust things based on how you're feeling right now, and to change the performance so that every performance is unique and you're not just, you know, playing by numbers or by a sheet. You're actually performing and feeling it. And then for soul artists, people like Bill Withers, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, and artists like that just taught me the smoothness of the vocals and the soul. And you know, and then there's also opera. Like Pavarotti was huge because he had such a force and power behind him, and how he could, I didn't even understand what he was saying. I don't know the language he's speaking, but I could feel the emotion and the passion. So he's another great one. And you know, moving forward these days, I listen to everything from metal to hip hop to rock and roll to soul to blues. And a lot of people are like, what? Hip hop? What do you mean? And I think that it's a beautiful modern art form that is new, and it's inspiring to me in the cadence and the rhythm of the way they pronounce and the way that they will phrase something or use simile and metaphor to express an idea or a feeling. And you know, a lot of hip hop artists have inspired me, like in Delilah, and the way I pronounce things. Like I learned how to pronounce differently and how to, you know, put the emphasis of syllables on different beats and stuff from that. So I'm continuously inspired by all sorts of music. And other than music, you know, books, mythology is a huge inspiration to me. Greek, Roman, Chinese, Native American, all sorts of mythology, because I love how you can tell this grand fantasy story and it have this down-to-earth real meaning, typically that's something that happened in real life, that then they can then translate into this huge story about a giant or the storm gods, or, you know, it's beautiful to me. So I apply a lot of that to my music. And then there's a lot, but the other thing would be a lot of illustration art and painting. Like I'm a huge fan of Gustave Doré and his works, and just the darkness and the light that he exudes through his illustrations, and that's inspired me a lot at times as well. I know that's a long answer, but
no,
that's it.
I think I got it, almost everything.
Okay.
So, dice, nos da una respuesta muy larga, nos explica no solo los artistas, sino los géneros de música y otras cosas que le han inspirado. Dice, por ejemplo, que lo primero de todo, la vida. Encontrar maneras de lidiar con depende de qué cosas nunca es fácil, y él en su música, en la música, encuentra esa manera, esa vía de escape que nos comentaba, esa manera de dejarlo ir. Y entonces, si hablamos de géneros, espera, estoy todavía, si hablamos de géneros, gospel, blues, rhythm and blues, soul, y entonces nos cuenta un poco, ¿no? En cuanto a blues, por ejemplo, Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, todos estos grandes que le enseñaron a poner todo el bravado y el soul en la voz para ejecutar aquello que necesitas hacer y que necesitas transmitir. Y luego, por ejemplo, en la parte más de Rhythm and Blues, o tiene a Aretha Franklin, a Nina Simone, que le encanta Nina Simone, por su manera de improvisar, que siempre hay una estructura, pero el saber improvisar cuando el momento te lo pide es algo más complejo. Y es no jugar a la música por los números, sino hacerla mucho más sentida. Conseguir un performance, una actuación única. Y luego también tenemos a Otis Redding, a Sam Cooke, que le enseñaron la suavidad de las vocales. Y luego, por ejemplo, también hay otros géneros como la ópera. Le encanta Pavarotti, es increíble, es un artista, y a pesar de que no entiende la lengua en la que canta, sí que le transmite esa pasión y esa fuerza. Y a día de hoy, por ejemplo, escucha muchos otros géneros, escucha metal, hip hop, rock and roll, que cuando dice esto hay mucha gente que dice, ¿hip hop? ¿Sí? ¿Qué quieres decir? Dice que es una manera moderna, una nueva forma de arte en la que el ritmo, la pronunciación, el parafraseado, las metáforas que utilizan para expresar diferentes ideas, le encanta, y le parece que es una expresión artística muy chula, y que de hecho, por ejemplo, él ha aprendido una pronunciación diferente. Pasa, por ejemplo, en Delilah, y él ha aprendido a pronunciar eso de un modo diferente, y que cada sílaba tiene que ir a su tempo, ¿no? Cada sílaba con su beat. Luego también hay muchos, también los libros le han inspirado, sobre todo la parte de mitología, la griega, la romana, la china, la nativoamericana. Es esos cuentos fantásticos, esa fantasía de historias de hace miles de años, que son historias reales que se magnifican. Entonces, es una historia que ha pasado de verdad, pero que de repente te la cuentan que aparecen gigantes, ¿no? Entonces, y luego también, por ejemplo, la ilustración. Nos ha mencionado un artista que se llama Gustave Doré, que dice que le encanta la manera de poner oscuridad en la luz.
Qué bueno. Shawn, qué respuesta más guapa, ¿eh?
This is loving your answer. He said that was a great answer, unexpected answer.
Well, thank you. I feel like I've done enough interviews now to know and not be nervous and to say what I actually think, and I don't have to think about it as much.
Dice que muchas gracias, que ha hecho suficientes entrevistas hasta ahora para saber que no se tiene que poner nervioso y decir las cosas como las siente.
Bien, it's good. Shawn, ostras, así, me ha venido como un flash también por el chat. Tú tenías un concierto, tenías varios conciertos programados aquí en España, que debido a la pandemia se tuvieron que cancelar. ¿Tienes o sabes si vais a venir en un futuro aquí? ¿Tenéis previsto?
Sí. So, Luis is asking, you had a lot of concerts program here in Spain.
Yeah.
Do you have those reprogrammed? Are you coming back?
I am coming back. I promise. You know, the pandemic and everything has presented a very difficult situation for booking and international borders and stuff like that. So it's been difficult. You know, we have a tour for the UK portion of the tour that we had to cancel for this October. Fingers crossed that it actually happens. But, you know, the rest of Europe seems to be having a little bit more of a struggle with moving forward past it. So on the advice of my booking agents, it was that we wait till next year. So we are wanting to come back as soon as possible. And I wish I could do it sooner. But right now we're looking at most likely springtime next year to come back to Europe and Spain and everywhere else so that we can finally make those dates back up. And, you know, it's crazy when I think about it. It's 2 years, 2 whole years by that time. It's ridiculous. And, you know, there's nothing I can do, though. It's the sad thing. So I hope that you guys will be patient with me. And I can't wait to see you all when we do finally get there. You know, the Spanish shows that we play, I remember when I came to Spain, because the shows the people just were so passionate and so intense, and just, it was like they were a part of the show as well. Not that other places aren't that way, but there was something unique and special about the energy of Spain in general.
Dice que sí, que obviamente la situación es muy difícil, que él tiene muchísimas ganas de volver, que es lo que más le apetece, pero que la situación es difícil con el tema de fronteras, de gestión de conciertos. Y que, por ejemplo, sí que hay una parte del tour de Reino Unido que se hará este octubre, si todo sale bien, y que para el resto de Europa se está convirtiendo en una complicación un poco mayor para que se puedan ya empezar a agendar los conciertos, y que por recomendación de su agente de Booking, el agente que lleva todo el tema de agendar los conciertos, le ha dicho que probablemente sea el año que viene. Entonces, el que él quiere venir ya, a lo antes posible, pero que estamos mirando a fechas hacia primavera del año que viene. Que si piensa cuándo fue el último concierto, es hace ya 2 años, dice que es ridículo, que tiene muchísimas ganas de venir y que si por él fuera sería ya, pero que obviamente no puede hacer nada al respecto, y que por favor le tengáis mucha paciencia.
Totalmente.
Y que lo que sí quiere decir es que cuando recuerda los conciertos de aquí de España, dice que los recuerda como apasionados, como intensos, que el público era como una parte del show. No que en otros sitios no sea así, pero que hay como una energía única y especial en España que hace que sea diferente, en cierto sentido.
Gracias por la parte que nos toca.
Thank you very much for those words.
Yeah, of course.
Por supuesto.
Shawn, evidentemente ahora tengo ganas de saber cómo llegas a trabajar en Naughty Dog, en The Last of Us Part 2. Entonces, cuéntanos, ¿cómo llega ese primer contacto para que tus canciones, tu canción sobre todo True the Valley, suene en el primer anuncio? Cuéntanos esa historia, que es la que tenemos ganas de escuchar.
So now he's wondering, how did you ended up working with Naughty Dog? And so how was that first contact, or how did the project ended in your hands, or how was that your song ended in the first trailer or commercial of the game?
Yeah, it was a surprise, to be honest. So I know I'm not supposed to talk about too much, but I think that this is okay. It's basically, I was on tour, and I think I was in Chicago, and I checked my phone, and I have an email from Sony PlayStation, and I'm like, Sony PlayStation, what? Like, I have a PlayStation, I'm thinking it's a bill or something for a game. But it's them reaching out to me, and one of their creative teams, they didn't tell me who, they said, one of our games and one of our developers is very, very interested in using one of your songs, Through the Valley, as a part of this game or whatever it was. And they were like, we can't tell you who, we can't tell you how it will be used, we can't tell you if you'll be singing it or if someone else will be singing it, we can't tell you anything, but just know that it's a bigger game from our library of games. And at first I was hesitant because I'm very protective of my songs. I see them as my children, almost, as cheesy as that sounds. And it was kind of scary to think that I was going to give away the rights to a song that meant a lot to me, and I wouldn't know how it would be used, or how who would sing it, or if the game would represent the things that I would agree with. So it was kind of scary, and at first I was leaning towards, I don't know. And then, I told my band about it. I talked with my band. I talked with a few people, and everybody was pretty much like, you're a smaller artist. You don't have a lot of notoriety. Your exposure isn't much. And this is Sony PlayStation. This is a big game. This could do a lot for your exposure and for your reach of your music. And they were like, maybe it's worth the risk. And after thinking about it, it was like it was a tension inside of me, you know. But I said, you know what, I'm going to take the risk. And I said, yeah. So I agreed to the song being used in whatever. And then I waited for a good 2.5 years till after I agreed, and I didn't hear anything. And then one day they reached out to me and said that I should watch the Sony PlayStation Experience Expo, where they announce new games. And so I'm watching the stream, and it's like 2.5 hours in, and there's like nothing yet. And I'm like, huh. And I was like, maybe they're saving the best for last. Maybe this isn't like a major game. And so I'm waiting. And then the very last trailer, they cut. And then I start to hear the opening chords of my song. And then I see Ellie, and I see the environment. And then I just get chills, because it was The Last of Us. And I didn't play the full game through The Last of Us, but I had played a little bit at a friend's place, and I knew the story. And I immediately thought, how perfect of an environment and a use for this song, because the song is very post-apocalyptic. It's about survival and the hard choices that sometimes you have to make, and being blind to evil because you got to do what you have to survive. So it gave me chills, and I was so proud, and the worry went away, because I was like, oh, this is the game. This is the perfect game for this song, and I couldn't imagine anything better. So that's really how my first experience started. And then when the trailer came out, I was getting phone calls from everybody, you know, Shawn, did you see it's in this? And to be honest, I knew The Last of Us, but I wasn't aware of just how big of a game it was. And so the response was huge. Overnight, it got 1 million streams on Spotify and YouTube and all this stuff, and it blew my mind wide open. And then later, I came to find out that Neil Druckmann, who's the creative director of the game and the writer, he was looking for artists that were similar to Johnny Cash on YouTube. And he was scrolling through videos like that. And I played this house show in 2013, this very small house show in the mountains of Colorado, where it was me and my good friend Baker on mandolin, and we played a cover of God's Gonna Cut You Down by Johnny Cash. So because of the YouTube connection between that song, Neil saw the video, and he loved the voice, he loved the sound. So that led him to Shadows, the album, from my understanding, where he listened through, and then when he heard Through the Valley, it was a perfect fit. So according to what I know, that's how it happened.
Wow. Wow. Let me share this because you're going to love it. So, dice que en realidad fue una sorpresa total. Que él estaba de tour en Chicago y que de repente mira el móvil y ve un email de PlayStation. Y entonces él tenía una PlayStation. Lo primero que pensó es, bueno, una factura, un juego, publicidad, lo que sea. Entonces que lo mira, lo lee y dice que alguien le contacta a alguien del equipo creativo que le dice que alguien de su equipo de desarrolladores quiere que su canción forme parte de un juego. Que no te podemos decir quién, no te podemos decir cómo la vamos a utilizar, no te podemos decir quién la va a cantar, solo te podemos que va a ser un juego de nuestra librería de juegos, un juego, no le dicen grande, pero le dicen como que va a ser un buen juego. Pero claro, él es muy protector de su música, entonces a él su dilema es dar los derechos de una canción que para él es tan importante, recordar la historia que nos ha contado, y es una canción que para él es muy emotiva y realmente no sabe cómo se va a utilizar esa canción o qué va a representar ese juego. Entonces habló con su grupo, habló con más gente y él les explicaba todas sus dudas y muchos le dijeron, bueno, Shawn, piensa que eres un artista pequeño, que tampoco tienes, que no te conocen tanto, entonces no tienes una notoriedad. Quizá esto es tu oportunidad para conseguir una mayor exposición y que la gente te conozca. A lo mejor vale la pena tomar ese riesgo. Y entonces él tenía toda esa tensión en ¿qué hago? ¿Qué hago? Al final, obviamente, tomó ese riesgo, dijo que sí, y desde que dijo que sí, bueno, después de acordar todo, durante 5 años y medio esperó y no oyó nada, no supo nada, hasta que de repente un día le dicen, oye, a lo mejor quieres conectarte esta noche a, a la Sony Experience Expo. Y entonces estuvo conectado al stream durante más de 2 horas y media y no había nada, no había nada, nadie dice, bueno, no sé, a lo mejor es un gran juego, a lo mejor están reservando lo mejor para el final. Y entonces cuando empieza el último tráiler, el verdadero último tráiler, y empieza a escuchar los acordes de su canción y ve a Eli con la guitarra tocando, dice que le dieron escalofríos, porque era el ambiente perfecto, el juego perfecto. Al final la canción es un poco apocalíptica de haz lo que tengas que hacer para sobrevivir, que eres ciego al mal y que todo encajaba y todo era perfecto. No podía ser más perfecto. Y que él no ha jugado al The Last of Us 1, no lo ha jugado entero, ha jugado en casa de un amigo y que además en ese momento él no sabía la repercusión tan grande que podía tener este juego o que tenía. Y en cuanto salió el tráiler le vinieron millones de llamadas, de oye, acabo de ver esto, acabo de ver lo otro, y entonces todo el mundo ahí empezó. eh, bueno, entonces empezó a ver que tenía como un millón de reproducciones, que si en YouTube, que si aquí, que si allí, entonces se empezó a hacer como mucho más grande de lo que esperaba. Y que todo esto, por lo que él sabe, él no puede hablar mucho, pero cree que esto lo puede decir, que por lo que él sabe era Neil Druckmann el que había estado buscando a un artista que se pareciese a Johnny Cash por YouTube. Y entonces estaba brujuleando YouTube y hay un house show que lo llama, que debe ser un concierto muy, muy pequeñito, yo me imagino que en su casa, en 2013, que estaba él y su amigo Baker haciendo una cover de God's Gonna Cut You Down de Johnny Cash. Y que entonces a través de este vídeo, Neil Druckmann llegó al álbum de Shadows y escuchó la canción Through the Valley. Y a partir de aquí el resto pues ya es historia.
Qué bueno. Esto no lo sabía, esta parte final no la sabía, ¿eh?
You just didn't know this last part.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, as far as I know, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Dice que por lo que él sabe, eso es lo que ha escuchado.
Brutal, brutal, qué bueno. Bueno, si nos permitís, yo te explico, Shawn, una cosa. Hace unas semanas hicimos un encuentro entre fans de The Last of Us y que les gusta tocar canciones. Entonces, en representación y como sabíamos que íbamos a tenerte aquí con nosotros, decidieron hacerte un regalo. Entonces, no sé si el directo lo estás viendo y puedes oírlo, porque voy a poner una cosa en el directo para que tú lo puedas escuchar. ¿Qué te parece?
Shawn, did you say you are not able to watch the live stream, or are you able to watch the live stream?
Are you talking about on Twitch? Because I can
Yeah.
see that. I am not on the Twitch stream. Okay, let me pull it up real quick.
Okay.
Hold on.
While you pull it up, yeah, I will let you know that some weeks ago there was this encounter of fans, of The Last of Us fans, and they are all musicians. Well, not all of them, but they can play. And they decided to make something for you. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. So once you can connect, Juice will
Okay.
share it with you. Se está
Amazing.
conectando.
Yeah. Give me just a minute. Let me see. I have to remember my login for Twitch.
Ok. Dice que se tiene que loguear en Twitch, que se tiene que recordar el log, el usuario, y que ahora mismo se conecta para verlo.
Genial.
Está emocionado, ¿eh?
Ah, qué bien.
Can I watch it without logging in? Is that possible? Or do I need to log in?
I think so. Luis, ¿tiene que loguearse para verlo o lo puede ver sin loguearse?
Puede verlo sin loguearse.
Luis says that you can do it without login.
Okay, let me see here. No, they're making me log in. Now I have to remember my password. Okay, hold on. But maybe you can ask another question while I figure this out.
Did you try to click the link that you shared on the chat?
Chat.
Yes, I clicked the link in the chat.
And it makes you log in.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's okay. I'll figure it out.
Luis dice que si quieres mientras tanto hacer otra pregunta,
vale.
mientras él consigue recuperar el log.
Sí, ningún problema.
Mientras yo traduzco, aprovecha.
Sí. Vale, pues mira, una de las curiosidades que tenía era, una vez te llega el boom de cuando sale la PlayStation Experience, todo el mundo empieza a conocer Through the Valley, todo el mundo busca a Shawn James, que es lo que decías, 1 millón de reproducciones y tal. Me gustaría saber cómo fue vivir los siguientes meses a ese boom que tuviste, porque tú decías, no, soy un músico menor, tal, y de golpe eso te repercute también a tu beneficio, ¿no? O sea, fue realmente una muy buena decisión aceptar lo que te pidió en su momento PlayStation hace 5 años, ¿no?
So, Luis is wondering that after the whole PlayStation experience, after you watch your music on the clip, and there's this boom with the million streams everywhere, and as you mentioned before, you were a smaller artist, and suddenly there's a lot of fans coming to you and a lot of streams. How did you feel? Was it a good decision, of course, to say yes to Sony 5 years ago? But how did that boom feel to you?
It was, for years and years, I think this happened at the end of 2016 is when the trailer was released. So I had been touring about 4 years on my music before then. And, I had little successes here and there, and it was a lot of touring and a lot of going. And and the other thing was, Through the Valley, and that song was released in 2012. And it was one of my least popular songs. I knew it was very dark. I knew to me, it wasn't ever going to be a popular song, but that was okay because I like the dark songs, and a lot of times the more popular songs are the ones that are more upbeat and have more melody and stuff. So to me, I just accepted that was how it was going to be for Through the Valley. It was going to be one of my hidden favorites. And to have that big boom happen, the big boom alone from my career was huge because it exposed me to millions and millions of people who then, because of The Last of Us and the connection, they started going through my music and they started listening to all the music I had. And I saw attendance at my shows double. There was double, triple people sometimes. And I cannot describe how important and how good it felt to have someone finally maybe recognize me and push me up in the spotlight for people to recognize and to see and to say, hey, really what they did is say, hey, this person is worthy. This person is good enough. This person is a musician you should pay attention to. And it felt so justifying and just so good to have that happen. And then on top of it, to have it with Through the Valley was mind-blowing. It blew me away because, like I said, it was a song that I never thought would ever happen with that. And now my least popular song is my most popular song to this day still. And it's an incredible feeling that I don't know if I'll ever have again. And that's not that that's a bad thing, but there's no experience like when that happens for the first time and to have that rush and energy and feeling. So it was just beautiful. It was beautiful for my life and my career and for my family and for my art. And for me as an artist, it gave me a push and support that I never thought I would have.
Okay. Dice que bueno, que eso pasó más o menos a finales de 2016, cuando cuando se lanzó el tráiler, y que ya llevaba girando durante 4 años, que había tenido algunos éxitos aquí y allá, y que en 2012, que es cuando se estrenó la canción, siempre ha sido su canción menos popular. Él sabe que es una canción oscura, que es una canción más, que a la gente le gusta más la melodía, el ritmo, pero que él aceptaba que nunca iba a ser así de popular y que era una de sus favoritas escondidas, ¿no? Eh, para su carrera, punto uno, para su carrera fue enorme, fue increíble, fue ganar una exposición a millones de personas, millones y millones de personas, que les dio la oportunidad de conocerle como artista y de explorar a través de sus canciones, de ver cuál era su música y le daba la oportunidad de escoger a muchísima gente si sigues o no. Que también vio que había casi el doble y el triple de gente en sus conciertos y que era como si alguien de repente dijera, vale, este músico es un músico al que hay que prestar atención, este músico merece la pena, este músico vale. Y que claro que para él lo justifica todo. Y que encima, además, conseguir eso con su canción menos popular, una canción que nunca pensaría que llegaría como a ningún sitio, ha sido el recopetín, o sea, lo más de lo más. Claro, su canción menos popular se ha convertido en la más popular y a día de hoy sigue siéndolo. Y es algo que no sabe si volverá a pasar, pero que esa energía, ese chute, esa sensación, esa adrenalina de esa primera vez es increíble. Y ha sido algo que escojan su canción para The Last of Us, ha sido algo precioso, algo magnífico para todo, para su familia, para su carrera, para su vida, para todo. Y que es un apoyo que siente que ha ganado así gracias a esto.
Qué guay. Súper bonito. A ver si... ¿Cómo le va a Shawn? ¿Has podido conseguirlo?
Did you manage to get online?
I am still trying. I got into my account, but it said that I wasn't allowed.
Wait, maybe, Luis, a lo mejor me puedes quitar de la vista y yo le comparto pantalla.
Es que está configurado todo, pero bueno, si quieres... Puedo mirarlo.
I think I have it. I think I have
you
it,
have
actually.
it?
I think
Dice
I'm
que-
watching him right now. Let me see.
¿Qué digo?
Yeah.
¿Sí?
Que está
I'm
dentro,
here.
sí.
Here, let me see if I can send a message. Everybody see me?
Yes.
Yes.
I can read you.
Hola, Garo.
Okay.
Oh, now it's going to be.
All right, see if I can keep up with it, huh?
Dice que va a intentar leeros a todos, pero
Vale,
a ver
ahora-
si lo consigue.
Okay, I see.
Shawn, te explico. Bueno, lo has explicado antes.
Sí.
Hicimos un evento con los fans, con varios fans, y gracias a que sabíamos que íbamos a tener charla, pues dijimos, vamos a tocar una de sus canciones, sobre todo la más conocida, y nos gustaría, pues, bueno, se hizo también pensando en que de alguna forma tú la pudieras ver, porque también nos llena de pasión, ¿no? Toda esta música que llegas a transmitir. Añado que son 3 personas las que verás. Son Josh, Kumai y Esther. Sobre todo Kumai, por ejemplo, y otros usuarios del chat empezaron a tocar gracias a Truth Valley, gracias a escuchar esa canción en ese anuncio. O sea que gracias a ti, Shawn, hay mucha gente que ha empezado a tocar la música. Y así que esto va para ti. Esto es para ti. Esto es por ti y para ti.
So as we told you, there was this gathering of all the fans of the community, and so knowing that you would be here with us, some people decided to record something for you, thinking that you could be able to see this and they could give you back a bit of the passion that you make us feel with your music, for all the things that you make us feel. And there are three users, especially Josh, Kumai, and Esther, that started actually playing thanks to Through the Valley. After listening to Through the Valley.
That's beautiful. That's incredible. I would it's always beautiful when people start playing music because of something I create. You know, that's one of my biggest goals, is to show people that and give people something that they can do and have a release and learn music, and that's beautiful. So I'm very proud of you three and everybody else who's done anything because of me. You know, I don't that's the other thing. I don't think of myself that way. I don't put myself on a pedestal. I don't think that I'm amazing or anything. I just am. I just try to be who I am and do what I do, and do it with a lot of heart, emotion, and passion. And to have people relate to it like that it's a beautiful thing. It gives me purpose, and it makes me feel like I'm doing what I should be doing in my life. You know, so thank you all very much, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this.
Dice que le encanta, que es un gesto súper bonito y que alguien empiece a tocar por algo que él ha creado le parece increíble, que realmente es una de sus metas, demostrar a la gente que puede conseguir sentirse muy bien a través de la música, y que si encima es, o sea, que lo hayáis hecho por él. Él no se siente así de increíble, él no se tiene en un pedestal, él es como él es solo él, pero que si de verdad habéis empezado a tocar gracias a él, se siente súper honrado, le habéis dado, veis, o sea, él se siente con un propósito y está orgulloso de hacer lo que hace por cosas de este estilo.
Adelante. Espera. Aquí está. Vamos a primero con Josh.
First one is Josh.
¿Se escucha? No.
No.
We'll get there.
Espera. Perdón. La madre que me parió, ¿por qué no se oye?
Ahora sí se escucha, ¿eh?
¿Ahora sí?
Es que como yo voy con retraso en el chat.
Pero yo no lo escucho. Espera, ¿lo escucháis?
No evil, 'cause I'm blind to it all. In my mind, in my gun, they come for me. Because I know I kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell on this earth forevermore. Said I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul. But I can walk on the path on the right because I'm wrong. When I came upon a man at the top of the hill, call himself the savior of the human race. Said he come to save the world from destruction and pain. But I said, how can you save the world from itself? As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil 'cause I'm blind. And I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul. But I know when I die, my soul is dead.
¡Ole!
Beautiful.
Tremendo Josh, ¿eh? Tremendo Josh.
Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Vale.
And you just started. You just started. That's insane. Keep going. Keep going.
Increíble. Shawn, ahora te voy a poner a Kumai, que es una chica que tuvimos una charla con ella y The Last of Us ha significado toda su vida, o sea, para ella ha significado un cambio de vida radical, porque tuvo una serie de problemas en el pasado, ¿no? Una serie de problemas que le causaron, pues, caer en un vacío muy, muy grande, y que gracias a The Last of Us Parte 2 le ayudó a poder salir de ese agujero. Y es una persona con mucha sensibilidad, que además, gracias a tu canción, Through the Valley, incluso ha podido entrar dentro del mundo de la música y se siente súper contenta, súper feliz de todo lo que ha significado tanto The Last of Us como tú. No, estás en silencio ahora.
Lo siento. Sorry. So
That's okay.
next is going to be Kumai, and the story of Kumai. She had The Last of Us meant to her a radical change in her life because she had a lot of trouble in the past, and she fell into a void. And with The Last of Us and your song, she could get out of that hole. And thanks to Through the Valley, she started in the music world, and she started playing after your song. So she's super happy and super grateful to both The Last of Us and to you, Shawn.
That's, I myself have had experiences where I found myself in a dark place, in a place that I couldn't pull myself out of. And, music, when I was younger especially, was the only thing that could change my mood and give me and uplift me and bring me out of everything. So to hear that that's something I create and even, The Last of Us and everything could have that effect is just, it's the greatest, compliment or greatest thing that I could ever hear from another person about what I create. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you for sharing that, and I very much look forward to hearing what you have in store.
Dice que muchísimas gracias, que él ha tenido, como nos ha contado, experiencias en las que se ha encontrado en sitios muy oscuros de los que no sabía muy bien cómo salir, y que la música, sobre todo cuando era más joven o más pequeño, le sacaba de todo y le hacía salir como con fuerzas renovadas. Y escuchar que algo que él ha creado, también de Last of Us, ha tenido ese efecto en alguien, es probablemente el mejor cumplido o lo mejor que puede oír de una persona, que es precioso. Y que muchísimas gracias por compartir tu historia, Kumai.
Muy bien. Vamos a verla.
Ay, que tiene muchas ganas de ver lo que tienes preparado.
Pues vamos allá. Espera, he equivocado. Aquí, vale. Kumai, allá vamos. ¿La has podido oír?
Were you able to hear it?
Yes, it was absolutely beautiful. I like the chord you threw in too. Yes. Here I have a double. The chord you threw in, I did not expect it. It was a different one than I used, but it added another element to it. So I absolutely love what you did there. And keep going, keep moving forward. You know, never be ashamed of needing a release through whether it be music, a video game, or anything. Never be ashamed of that, because everybody needs that from time to time. I need it to this day still. So beautiful work. I love the guitar work. Keep going. And I hope to hear more. And I hope to hear you keep moving forward.
Kumai le ha encantado, dice que le parece precioso, que has utilizado otro acorde del que él utiliza, pero que añade un elemento diferente que le ha gustado muchísimo, y que sobre todo que nunca nadie se sienta avergonzado de necesitar esa salida. Kumai, que si necesitas esa vía de escape, que la uses, que le encanta que lo hayas hecho con la música y que a él a día de hoy sigue necesitando esa vía de escape, que le ha encantado y que espera poder escuchar algo más de ti en el futuro.
Ya lo sabes. A la Comay la tenemos aquí en el chat. Está ahora volando.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for not responding right away after the video. There's a little bit of lag when I'm on the Twitch and then have to switch over. So beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. Dice que si responde un poco más tarde de lo que vosotros estáis viendo acabar el vídeo, pensar que nosotros lo estamos viendo con un poco de delay, pero que le ha parecido genial. Que muchísimas gracias, que precioso.
Perfecto. Y Shawn, queda Esther, que Esther es tiene una voz. Tiene una voz. Madre mía. Entonces, ella no toca el instrumento, pero gracias al playback de música podrás escuchar una voz, Shawn, y espero que te guste, porque lo hizo con todo su corazón, así que
You're going to hear next Esther. She has an amazing voice, an incredible voice, and she doesn't play any instrument, but you're going to be able to hear her voice, and use hopes, and I think we all know that you're gonna love it. Because she prepared this with all her heart.
Amazing. So, let's do it.
Por cierto, es una miembro del equipo de la comunidad.
She's a member of the team, of the community.
Allá vamos.
Parece que empiezo, pero no. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil, because I'm blind to it all. In my mind, my gun, they comfort me, 'cause I know I'll kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I would dwell on this earth forevermore. Instead I walk beside the still waters, and they restore my soul, but I can't walk on the path of the right, because I'm wrong. Well, I came upon a man in the top of the hill, call himself the savior of the human race. But I say, how can you save the world from itself? Cause I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I feel no evil, cause I'm blind. Oh, and I walk beside the still waters, and they restore my soul. But I know when I die, my soul is dead.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the yes, the inflection she used, the vibratos, the runs, it's almost like perfect along with it. Beautiful, beautiful voice, honestly. And then the whistling. I was like, no, because you don't hear a lot of people able to do the whistle either. You know, the one thing my father told me when I was older, he said, when you were younger, I wish I never would have taught you how to whistle because you annoyed the hell out of me all the time while you were learning.
Dice, bueno, Esther, probablemente le hayas entendido. Dice que le ha parecido increíble, impresionante, que la inflexión, el bravado, la fuerza la fuerza que tienes y sobre todo el silbido, que no escuchas a mucha gente silbar de esa manera, que yo también lo estaba pensando. Y dice que una de las cosas que le dijo su padre es que ojalá de pequeño no te hubiera enseñado a silbar, porque dice que mientras aprendía tocaba las narices a toda la casa.
Qué bueno. Ay, Shawn, espero que te haya gustado este regalo que teníamos preparado para ti de la parte de la comunidad.
So, we hope you like this gift that the community prepared for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I have never seen such an outpouring of love and musical ability from people towards my music till the Last of Us community came up, and that was absolutely beautiful. Thank you all very much. And I see everyone else's covers they post on Instagram and everywhere else too. I get tagged in it and I watch them, so it brings me immense joy and pride. So thank you all very much, and keep going, keep making music, do your own music eventually. Do whatever you feel good with, but I think that there's potential for everyone. So keep going. Absolutely.
Dice que sí que le ha encantado, que ha sido precioso. Bueno, ya le habéis visto lo emocionado que está y que nunca ha visto tanto amor y habilidades musicales, tanta entereza, tanta atreverse a hacerlo hasta que llegó a Last of Us. Dice que ve las covers que hace todo el mundo en Instagram, donde sea, cuando le etiquetan, ve las de todo el mundo y que le hace sentir muchísimo orgullo y muchísima alegría que la gente se atreva a hacer eso o que él tenga parte que ver. Que sigáis intentándolo, que tiréis para adelante, que nunca os avergoncéis, que si os atrevéis incluso a hacer vuestra propia música, que tenéis mucho potencial, a los que habéis visto tenéis mucho potencial y están muy contentos.
Pues tienes que saber, Shawn, que lo que has visto es la primera vez que lo hacían de cara al público.
So the videos you saw, that was the first time for everyone that they did it publicly.
Beautiful. That's the biggest first step from, besides practicing and learning. That's the biggest thing is you know, not being afraid to put it out there. Because like with me, if I wouldn't have put that video on YouTube at the house show, I would have never been here right now. So I applaud your courage. I applaud your ability, your skill, and I want to see you guys doing more and keep moving forward. And don't be afraid to share. You know, one of my biggest things when I was younger, I always thought, oh, I should be better, so I'm not going to share what I have now because I'll be better. And if I thought like that, I would never put music out, you know? So don't be afraid to share. There's going to be people who, you know, have bad things to say, but it doesn't matter. They're everywhere, you know? You have to use that as fuel to keep going and to do even more. So bravo, bravo.
Dice que ese es el primer gran paso, el atreverse. Aparte de practicar, el no tener miedo, el lanzarse. Pensar que si él no hubiese colgado en YouTube ese show que hizo en casa, nunca le hubiese visto Neil Druckmann y no hubiese conseguido todo esto. Que os aplaude vuestro coraje y vuestra habilidad. Que nunca tengáis miedo de compartir. Que él de pequeño decía, antes de compartir o antes de hacerlo público debería ser mejor. Pero siempre encontraréis gente que tenga que decir cosas malas en contra, siempre, las hay en todos lados, pero utilizarlas como gasolina para mejorar y para crecer, que queme el fuego.
Bien. Shawn, regresando al tema de The Last of Us, parte 2, tú comentabas que habías jugado solo un poco del primer The Last of Us y de golpe ves que utilizan tu canción en ese tráiler de presentación de la parte 2. A raíz de eso, ¿llegaste a terminar la primera parte y llegaste a jugar también la parte 2?
So you've shared with us that you had only played a bit of The Last of Us Part 1 before they used your song. After the trailer was released, did you finish the first part or did you play to the second part?
Immediately, yes. So I went and I bought the game because I didn't own it. I played it at a friend's place because back then I was on the road so much that I didn't have a lot of time for these little things and you know I didn't have a lot of downtime. So when I got off the road and I was off of tour, I bought the game, I played through it, and the thing that hit me, it made me tear up in a way, was when Joel loses his daughter. In that way, I was like, oh man, I never knew a video game could have this kind of heaviness and evoke these kind of emotions in me. And I felt like after watching that scene, I wanted to play, I wanted to go through it, I wanted to get vengeance, I wanted to do everything. So yes, I've played both the first one and the second one, and I'm a huge fan.
Dice que, por supuesto, que inmediatamente, que claro, él estaba de tour muchísimo tiempo, entonces él no tenía el juego, era el juego de un amigo y se iba a casa de su amigo a jugarlo, pero que en cuanto salió se fue corriendo a comprar el juego y que recuerda el momento que le hizo ya romper a llorar, era el momento en que Joel pierde a su hija. Y que nunca antes había pensado que un videojuego tuviese ese peso o esa capacidad de hacernos sentir tantas emociones. Y que inmediatamente después de ver eso tenía muchísimas ganas de jugarlo y jugarlo hasta el final y tenía sed de venganza y ya por todas.
Muy bien. Entonces, podemos hablar de The Last of Us, parte 2. Podemos hacer spoilers. Entonces...
So we can speak with spoilers, right? About the game.
Sure you can, yes.
Dice que sí.
Yeah.
Vale. Tengo curiosidad... Primero por saber el viaje de Ellie en la parte 2. Porque sé que tú y mucha gente hemos estado en muchos momentos oscuros en nuestra vida. Y el viaje de Ellie es un momento muy oscuro. ¿En qué momento? Porque claro, todos tenemos sed de venganza. Pero ¿en qué momento, Shawn, a ti llega un punto en el que dices, Ellie, para? O tú llegas hasta el final, como Ellie.
So, when during Ellie's trip in part 2, of course, you and a lot of people have dark moments, or we have, because we include ourselves in that part. We have dark moments, and Ellie's trip is one of those dark moments, and we all have that revenge, thirst. And when along the game would you say, Ellie, stop? Or would you just go with her until the end?
When would I stop traveling along with Ellie if I were in the game?
Or when would you say, Ellie, stop?
It's tough because you can't, looking back. Okay, so looking back now after knowing the story and everything, I would have stopped, after I found out the truth of what happened with Joel and with how he killed the surgeon. And he told her that, they had other people and they just couldn't find a cure. And after she found out the truth from that, I mean, looking back, I would have said, yeah, you should stop. This is just a circle that's never going to end. And that's one of the things I love about The Last of Us is they show the full cycle of vengeance and how it keeps going. Like, you killed this person and this person killed this person, so I'm going to get revenge. And it keeps going. So yeah, I would have told her to stop after Joel told her the truth about what happened. But when I was in the game, and if I was along with her and everything, I would have never stopped. You have to, when you're in that moment and when you're feeling those things, I understand, Ellie. I understand wanting the vengeance. I would have been the same way. So it's easy to look back when everything is said and done and be like, oh yeah, I should have done that there. But when you're feeling these emotions and when you're feeling everything, it's almost impossible. And as hard as it is, I think I would have done the same thing that Ellie did, to be quite honest. Absolutely. It's losing someone you love that heavily and watching them be murdered in front of you and have that happen. I couldn't imagine the pain and the helplessness of not being able to help that person. Of course, I would want revenge, and I would have done exactly what she did, and I would hope that maybe someone would come along and talk to me and explain how this cycle will never end if you keep going. But I don't think that I would have been able to if I was feeling those same things and if I had been through what she went through.
Dice que es muy difícil, que mirando atrás, después de saber toda la historia completa, después de saber lo que realmente ha pasado con Joel, probablemente ese sea el momento. Ahí le podrías decir, Ellie, para. Pero que al final el ciclo de venganza es un ciclo que nunca para, porque mata a una persona, mata a la siguiente y luego la siguiente y luego la siguiente. Y claro, una cosa que tú amas, el juego te enseña ese ciclo de venganza. Y cómo nunca hubiese, es algo que nunca hubiese parado. Entonces, que él entiende perfectamente a Ellie por qué siente las cosas que siente, y que si él hubiese estado sintiendo esas mismas emociones, probablemente hubiese hecho exactamente lo mismo que Ellie. Perder a alguien que quieres, que asesinado enfrente tuya, no se puede imaginar el dolor por el que pasa, y el sentimiento de no poder ayudar, esa sensación como de estar totalmente, de no poder hacer nada. Y que él espera que, le gustaría que en ese momento alguien pudiese venir y hablar con él, si estuviese en ese momento como en el de Ellie, que alguien pudiese venir y decir y explicarle que este ciclo de venganza que nunca para poder parar en algún momento. ¿Sabes? Que alguien, pero claro que cuando tú estás en ese torbellino de emociones es imposible parar. Y que le sabe mal, pero probablemente hubiese hecho exactamente lo mismo.
Normal. Y muchos igual. Shawn.
You says that a lot of us feel the same way.
Entonces, Shawn, tú has jugado a muchos videojuegos, ¿no?
So you've played a lot of video games?
I do. Yeah, I played a lot growing up. You know, besides music growing up, I love video games because I could enter that world and kind of sometimes when things were rough with my family or life or whatever, I could escape. You know, I could turn off the world and go into this world, and I could not have to be a part of reality. And not just for that, but also for fun. You know, I love competition online, and I love everything like that as well. So yes, and to this day I still play. Yes, absolutely.
Dice que sí, que ha jugado muchísimo, que al principio muchas veces era por evadirse, por entrar en un mundo diferente, en un mundo de aventuras, y que cuando las cosas a lo mejor no iban muy bien en casa o en cualquier sitio, te puedes meter en ese mundo fantástico y no ser una parte de la realidad. Pero que a día de hoy también lo hace solo por diversión, que le gusta la parte competitiva, online y tal, y que a día de hoy sigue jugando.
Dos cosas. Bueno, ¿que juegues al multijugador de The Last of Us? ¿Has jugado o no?
Have you played the multiplayer of The Last of Us?
Yes, a little bit on the first one because it's not available for the second. But yes, I played it on the first one a little bit, but I was so terrible that I gave up very quickly because, you know, you have to put time in to get good, to be as good as all these other people who are incredible. So I played a little bit, but I was so bad.
Que dice que sí, que en el primero sí, porque para el segundo no está disponible, pero que es terriblemente malo y entonces necesitas mucho tiempo para ponerte al nivel del resto de jugadores. Pero
No.
bueno, que lo ha intentado y que...
Pues oye, déjame explicarte, Shawn, que aquí somos una comunidad y nos hemos juntado una serie de gente que somos un desastre jugando. Somos malísimos jugando. Y como somos tan malos, nos hemos juntado para jugar malos contra malos. Por si algún día te quieres apuntar.
So, Luis is sending you an offer because the part of the community are also terrible players. So they got together to play terrible people against terrible people. And that way they're having fun together. So
okay, I love it.
If you ever want to join, just let Luis know.
Amazing, I'll take you up on that sometime.
Dice que te tome la palabra.
Muy bien. Es que o sea, somos tan malos que en lugar de jugar y matarnos, nos reímos de nosotros mismos.
They say that they're so terrible that instead of playing and killing each other, they laugh at each other. So.
I understand. Can I have one moment? I need to grab the charger for the computer so it doesn't die. So 1 minute,
Yeah,
I'll be
sure.
right back.
Yeah. Que va a coger un momento el cargador, que se le acaba la batería del portátil.
Vale. Qué bueno. Bueno, ya le hemos dicho que se una a la party. Qué grande. Que le pongo el Tripalowski, dicen. No sé si me va a dar tiempo a encontrarlo.
Okay, all good.
Bueno.
Venga, Luis, ready to go.
Nada, no os preocupéis, ya se lo enviaré. Que no me da tiempo. Vale, perfecto. No, porque, Shawn, el chat me estaba diciendo que te compartiera un vídeo que hicieron un montaje de una... Estamos jugando, o sea, tú has jugado al de Last of Us, al multijugador. Entonces, en una de las partidas al multijugador hicimos una locura y alguien editó el vídeo con una canción. Entonces, me están diciendo que te lo comparta, igual que he compartido antes la música. Entonces, si me dais unos segundos, lo voy a buscar.
Okay, so in one of the games, of the multiplayer games of the community, with one of them, they made some video with some music, and Luis is trying to find it to show it to you.
Ah, yeah, okay. I'll switch back over. Let me know if you find it.
Vale, está en Twitter. Un segundo. Qué locura. A ver, captura pantalla. Esto aquí en directo, venga. A buscar la imagen. No, capturar pantalla, no. Espérate, me he equivocado.
I'll provide some cases while we wait. There's all sorts of instruments around me.
Yeah, there are a few of them. Dice
Just
que
a little.
mientras esperamos nos va a tocar ahí algo con las maracas o con ahí... No, aquí hay un montón de cosas.
Oye, mira, no, ojo. Shawn, mira, hacemos una cosa. Si te parece, te lo propongo así. Mientras preparo un par de vídeos que hicimos de la comunidad para la comunidad del multijugador, si te apetece, y nos quieres tocar una canción, pero que no tenga nada que ver con The Last of Us, pero que sea de las tuyas más personales.
Okay, Luis is sending a proposal. Take it if you want. If you don't feel like it, do not worry.
Uh-oh.
No, while he's looking for the video that they want to show you, Luis says that maybe you can play some song that it's not related to The Last of Us, but something that you feel personal about it.
Si quieres.
I can do something. Let me see. Yeah, I can play something. I can do. Actually, let's do. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing now in the chat. I was gonna say one of those. Okay, I'll do a song for you guys. Hold on.
Okay, thank you so much. Chicos, probablemente ya lo habéis entendido por contexto, pero nos va a tocar algo. Y algo de lo que habéis puesto por el chat.
Wow.
All right. So I saw a couple people request Chicago. So this is a song I wrote about my hometown and about some of the experiences I had growing up, and then later coming to terms with being okay with how everything was when I was younger, you know. So this one's called Chicago. I come from a land where the winters are long and cold, where the ice crawls over the lake and the strong winds blow, where old men are tough and tell tales of old. A sore back for a hard day's work used to feed their souls. Chicago, I never knew I'd miss you till I left and came back. Chicago, I never knew how much I'd miss you till I left and came back. My father was a steel working man with an old style in his hand. He used to stomp across these lands. We buried him here between Roosevelt and 110. I still visit his grave every now and then. Chicago, I never knew I'd miss you till I left and came back. Chicago, I never knew how much I'd miss you till I left and came back. I used to lay my head where kings and stones held ground. Roaring in these streets, it still makes an awful sound. Innocents wouldn't spare their rounds. Bullets broke the windows as our bodies hit the ground. Chicago, I never knew I'd miss you till I left and came back. Chicago, I never knew how much I'd miss you till I left and came back. It took a while to understand these facts that made me who I am and gave me insight to react. Now I stand proud in being from this land, and maybe you can learn from my experience firsthand. Chicago, I never knew I'd miss you till I left and came back. Chicago, I never knew how much I'd miss you till I left and came back. Chicago, 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 Chicago.
Oh, that was so amazing. That was incredible.
Ah, thank you.
Ah,
I saw someone, it was the first thing I saw in the chat, so I said, okay, let's do it.
qué grande.
Thank you so much. Muy...
Shawn.
No need, thank you for having me. Honestly, it's been really fun. I've enjoyed this very much.
Dice que no, que muchísimas gracias a ti por invitarle, que se lo está pasando súper bien y la verdad es que lo está disfrutando.
Me alegro mucho, me alegro mucho. Pues
He's happy
prepárate.
about that.
La música no tiene nada que ver con la tuya, pero lo importante son las risas.
The music of the video, it's not in anyhow related to yours, you will see that. But the important thing is the fun and the laughs of the video.
Okay, yeah.
Vale, lo pongo. Sí, decidme si se oye, ¿vale?
Трипаловский, Кардашкусовский, Адидас кроссовки. Трипаловский, Кардашкусовский, Адидас кроссовки. Трипаловский, на штанах полоски, три зачетных соски. Трипаловский, мы не боимся, в углах не таимся. Трипаловский, где все тусуют, по кармашкам суют. Трипаловский.
Oh, man.
Трипаловский.
Espera. One second.
That's a party right there. That's a party.
It's a party. espera este. La conexión no iba muy bien porque consume mucha energía y iba un poco torpedeado, pero ha podido entenderlo, ¿no?
So the connection was not very stable.
Yeah, but still,
but
the
you saw the
fun came
mood.
across. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. I love it. I love you know, it's one of the funnest things is to get together with a bunch of friends who are all over the world and all over the US. You can't get together in person, but you can get together and goof off online. It's fun. I get it. Hell yeah.
Dice que sí, que lo pilla perfectamente, que le ha parecido divertidísimo. Dice cuando precisamente no puedes quedar porque sois todos de diferentes partes del mundo o algo así, y sí que puedes quedar online y hacer el tonto porque sí, y las risas ya vienen solas.
Sí, sí. Mira, una anécdota que es que normalmente nos juntamos siempre la comunidad con la comunidad, pero alguna vez se ha juntado alguien del extranjero, desconocido totalmente, y claro, ve a varias personas haciendo esto. Y primero se queda como mirando, como diciendo, ¿qué están haciendo estos? Y luego al final también lo termina haciendo. Y nos reímos todos porque decimos, ostras, ha apuntado también.
So, just sharing one anecdote, and it's usually all the people participating and be a part of this goofiness. It's all the community from here. But sometimes a random person from a random point in the world comes along, and then they start like watching what is going on, and in the end they start to do the same thing. So it's like, okay, another one for the team. So
amazing. I love it.
Qué bueno.
Dice que increíble, que le encanta.
Total. Shawn, una de las curiosidades que mucha gente tiene es sobre la canción The Guardian. Porque representa que esa canción la has basado en Ellie. ¿Nos puedes contar su historia? Porque es que tenemos muchísima curiosidad.
So one of the big questions in the community is regarding the song The Guardian. That song is based on Ellie, but can you tell us more about it?
Yeah. You know, I had always told Neil Druckmann that if he ever had an opportunity for me to possibly compose something for the game and something for Ellie or for something like that, it would be a dream come true, because I felt so deeply, you know, what she went through and the subject matter of the game and the emotions and the feelings. So I was on tour in Europe. I was in Germany, I believe, and we talked about it, and he couldn't tell me anything about where the game was headed, the second game. This is before it came out. But he gave me some insight into maybe how she was feeling in the game and how everything was going. And so with some of his suggestions and some of his ideas, I sat and I composed the song. And you know, I wanted to compose something that kind of encompassed how because you know, you got to think this song, it's my idea of what she must be feeling. You know, it might not be what she felt, it might not be exactly, but in my eyes and as me playing as her, I kind of felt like, you know, she felt like she was doing the world a service and probably being a good person for doing this and killing these evils and these things, but then you're actually also a murderer, and you're actually also kind of doing these things that are very difficult to do. So I imagine this kind of tension and this push and pull inside of her as being a lover of life, but a bringer of death, and, you know, guarding from the darkness. But how even when you have to guard from the darkness, sometimes you have to become just as dark to be able to do what needs to be done. So yeah, a lot of those ideas are how I felt that she would feel. And then a couple of the lines came from Neil Druckmann as well in the song, because he had some things that he felt like needed to be said as well from her perspective. So yeah, it's a very heavy song, but it's also beautiful in a dark way. And it's it's a tragedy, really. This story to me is a tragedy. So I wanted the song to be a tragedy. And I wanted it to also have hope and to feel like, although all this stuff is going on, there's still a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's still a way to get out, you know? Like, I've been waiting for dawn, but the light is all gone. Don't know if I'm already blind. Can I leave it all behind? It leaves it open-ended, you know, because there is the possibility to move forward and to grow from these things. And so, yeah, it wasn't a difficult song. It was very easy for me to write because I had a lot of emotions and feelings from the game. And I thought maybe I could put into words possibly what she was feeling at times throughout the game.
Dice que sí, que la oportunidad apareció porque él le dijo a Neil Druckmann que si alguna vez tuviese la oportunidad para él de componer algo para el juego o especialmente para Ellie, que le encantaría. Y entonces estaba de tour, bueno, antes dice que es que él sentía muy profundamente lo que ella había sentido o lo que ella había pasado. Y entonces que estando en tour por Europa, creo recordar que fue en Alemania, habló con Neil de precisamente de hacer una canción para el juego. No le dijo la dirección que tomaría la historia, pero sí que le dio algunas sugerencias o algunas ideas y más o menos cómo ella se iba a sentir en el juego. Entonces él compuso lo que él creía que era lo que ella sentía. Como él tenía parte ya del juego de la primera parte, sí que era como que lo que él opina que Ellie sentía. Una persona buena, una persona que se siente buena por matar el mal o por destruir el mal, pero también te convierte en un asesino. Y entonces que las cosas se hacen más difíciles de lo que puedan parecer. Una ladrona de vida, bueno, es que esto en inglés es una frase hecha, es aquel que roba la vida, aquel que trae la muerte. Y al final, cuando tú tienes que hacer lo que tiene que ser hecho, también esa oscuridad entra en ti. Y él cree, bueno, la canción la compuso él, pero sí que hay algunas líneas de Neil Druckmann, cosas que tenía que decir él y desde su propia perspectiva, cosas que tenían que ser dichas. Y que al final es una canción que habla de tragedia, es una canción oscura, pero tiene un poco de luz. Que hay luz al final del túnel, ¿no? Cuando habla de esperar al amanecer y de ver la luz al final del túnel y de si lo puede dejar todo atrás, es esa parte de esperanza y la canción trata básicamente de las propias emociones que él comparte o ha compartido de alguna manera.
Precioso. A ver, lo sabemos. Sí, no sé si me puedes traducir, que ya lo sabemos ahora.
Now we know about it. No, that was really nice.
Yeah,
to know.
there's you know, and there's more like, even with the regret sometimes you can have from, you know, doing these things and looking back, like, was I right to do that? Was I wrong? Like, you know, someone said on there, you know, the PTSD of being who you were and then becoming a new person and still feeling the pull of what it's like to be that. It's a difficult thing. And I think, to be honest, it's a lot of what, in my experience, and a lot of what veterans and a lot of what soldiers who have been to war might feel when they come back home and have to leave all that behind. You know, it's a very difficult thing. So I hope that I did it justice, and I hope that other people can possibly feel something from that as well. It's a difficult topic.
Dice que efectivamente que es un tema muy complicado. Los remordimientos, el pensar, he hecho lo correcto, no he hecho lo correcto, me estoy equivocando, lo estoy haciendo bien, convertirte en otra persona, bajo su experiencia, cree que probablemente es algo parecido a lo que los soldados cuando vuelven de la guerra sienten cuando vuelven a casa, de pensar que todo lo que hemos hecho, y espero que sea lo correcto.
Muy bien. ¿Cómo vamos bien de tiempo, Shawn?
Sean, how are you? Like, how do you have to stop at some point? How much time do you have left? Or
I've got a little more time, maybe 15 minutes or so, if that's okay.
okay, dice que tiene 15 minutos más.
Muy bien. Pues los vamos a invertir en el público, si os parece.
Okay, so we're going to
Guiño,
ask
guiño,
some
guiño.
questions.
Dile guiño, guiño.
Yeah, we're going to shoot you some questions from our community here.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
And US says wink, wink.
¿Recuerdas? Lo de... Va. No, por...
Oh, you want me... the wink, wink, I get it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I got one more song for you guys. You know, I couldn't do a Last of Us conversation and not play the songs that were inspired by it. So we did Through the Valley, so we're going to do The Guardian as well. Thank you guys again for listening. It means a lot.
Que obviamente no podemos hablar de Last of Us y hablar de las canciones que están compuestas para esto, así que venimos con The Guardian.
Good enough.
Ya estoy.
When does it get quiet? Time was supposed to extinguish the desire, but the embers won't snuff out. Haunted by a smile, the mask keeps getting heavier. One step forward, two steps back. There's a noose round my neck, and the further I get, it's harder and harder to breathe. Can I find a way to cut the rope? I've been waiting for dawn, but the light is all gone. Don't know if I'm already blind. Can I leave it all behind? What's it really for if it's not yours? It's not mine. This victory is not what I hoped for. How is I to know that everything would end up like survival of the fittest of sorts. So I become the bringer of death, the lover of life, the one who guards from the dark of the night. I'll be the hammer of war. Justice and mercy don't live side by side, so in retribution I abide. I'll tip the scales to justice's end, but can it make amends? Kill or be killed, what a way to live and die. I just can't see this cycle ever ending. How can I correct the damage done when I can't feel the consequences of my recourse? So I become the bringer of death, the lover of life, the one who guards from the dark of the night. I'll be the hammer of war. I've been waiting for dawn, but the light is all gone. Don't know if I'm already blind. Can I leave it all behind? All right.
Wow.
Thank you. I get the digital claps through the chat. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Oh, thanks to you. It's so great to have you here today. Chicos, que muchísimas gracias por todos esos aplausos digitales. Y que, bueno, eso.
Me bajo de la vida ya,
Sí. Luis says that he needs nothing else in the world right now.
Well, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you guys had me out here, and it makes me feel good as well to see all the love and everything. So thank you guys so very much. I hope to make it to Spain ASAP and everywhere else that we had to cancel dates for. You know, it's one of my biggest regrets, not being able to play those shows. I hate canceling shows. It's not what I do. I've even played shows sick when I had a sore throat just because I don't like canceling. So thank you all for tuning in and for listening. It means the world. And I'm looking forward to your questions as well.
Dice que muchísimas gracias a todos vosotros, que le encanta sentir todo el amor que le estáis dando hoy, que espera poder venir a España lo antes posible. Dice que es uno de sus mayores remordimientos el haber tenido que cancelar los shows de España, como si fuera culpa suya, pero dice que es lo que nunca le gusta hacer, que ha tocado en conciertos incluso con la garganta mal y todo, porque no es de cancelar conciertos, es lo último, y que espera poder volver muy pronto.
Muy bien.
Y que está esperando vuestras preguntas.
Venga, vamos allá. he encontrado una de Demin que dice, ¿tienes algún tatuaje? Bueno, ¿alguno de los tatuajes que tienes está relacionado con alguna canción tuya?
So Demin from the chat is asking, is any of your tattoos related to your music or your songs?
Yeah, I have quite a few. You know, there's these ones right there. I don't know if you can see them on the thumb. I don't know. There we go. Those are from the dark and the light, the symbols. The one is the symbol for phosphor, which is light and life. And then the other is symbol for death. It's for the symbol for sulfur, which is for death and darkness. So, you know, at the point that I was writing the dark and the light, I was kind of going through a lot of past memories and traumas and trying to understand them and see how they actually made me who I am and made me a better person in the end, because I learned something from the hard times. And I think that's something that although a lot of people don't understand or feel it when they're in those bad times, you know, if and when you're able to come up out of them, you know, in due time, you may be able to learn a lesson from it all and see how it helps shape you into who you are. So yeah, I do have a few tattoos like that kind of relate to songs. Mm-hmm.
Dice que sí, que efectivamente que tiene algunos tatuajes que están relacionados con sus canciones, y que en particular nos enseñaba los de los 2 pulgares, que son fósforo en un lado y azufre en otro. Fósforo es la luz y la vida, azufre es la oscuridad y la muerte, y que viene de cuando estaba escribiendo The Dark and the Light, en donde exploraba recuerdos de su pasado, dramas, cosas que le habían hecho daño, pero que mirándolo hacia atrás son las cosas que le han hecho ser a día de hoy como es y ser quien es. Y tienes que aprender de todas esas experiencias, que probablemente en esos momentos, en los momentos malos, no puedes sentirlo de esa manera, pero que cuando todo haya pasado y cuando hayas salido de eso, con tiempo lo verás así y te darás cuenta de que al final eso es quien te ha hecho ser como eres.
Muy bien. Tenemos a un artista y productor de música rap que se llama Kaba y le gusta mucho empaparse de muchos estilos. Dice que incluso que es un cazador de samples, dice. Como has nombrado que referentes del soul son para ti, como músico, te pregunta, ¿qué opinas de los productores de hip hop que sampleamos música ya hecha? Si lo ves lícito. Y bueno, que él está haciendo una canción también de The Last of Us para hacerla de hip hop, y que también le gustaría compartir alguna música suya contigo.
So we have a member called Kava. He's an artist and a producer of rap songs. He loves to get himself into many styles, like feeding of them. Yes. And he thinks of himself as a hunter of samples. And he would like to ask you, what do you think of the hip hop artists that sample music that is already done? So like they create the songs with different samples of existing music. Do you see it okay, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I think as long as you know, the credit is given, and as long as the permission is there from the artist, I think it's beautiful. You know, a lot of songs that I hear, beats and grooves and samples, I love the way that they get translated into hip hop and everything. I think in the past, you know, some artists had a bad feeling towards it because some people would just take the artist's music without giving them credit or without asking if it's okay. And with that, I understand how some artists could be upset about that. But to be honest, I think it's beautiful, and I think it's a cool way to hear someone else's translation of your music, you know?
Kaba is also making a song related to The Last of Us, and he would like to share with you at some point some of his music.
Oh, beautiful! Yeah, I'm always available through the email, or sometimes, like when I'm in the studio right now recording, it may take a while for me to get back to you just because of my schedule, if I'm on tour or if I'm in the studio, but I try to respond to everybody who reaches out. I truly do. So yeah, share it with me, send me a message or whatever you want to do.
Dice que, respondiendo a la pregunta de qué le parece, dice que siempre que se otorgue el crédito correcto y se reconozca a los artistas de la versión de la canción original, le parece perfecto porque como los beats y el groove de los samples añaden a toda la parte de rap, y que es una combinación perfecta. Y que probablemente en el pasado hay artistas que no se han sentido muy bien con esta idea, porque probablemente lo que más ocurría era que se cogían partes de canción sin preguntar o sin otorgar el crédito necesario. Y que respondiendo a la parte de Cava, que por supuesto, Cava, si le quieres enviar cualquier cosa, está disponible en el mail, que puede ser que tarde un poquito más en responder cuando está en el estudio de gira, pero que intenta responder siempre.
Muy bien. Espera, un momento, por favor. Tú has jugado a The Last of Us y sabes que te encuentras unos objetos que son botellas y ladrillos.
Sí.
Bottles and bricks.
You've played The Last of Us, and you know that you find some objects that are bottles and bricks that you can use. So the community is divided in Team Brick or Team Bottle. Where would you find yourself?
Okay. It's gonna be a complex answer.
Yes.
I like both, but I like the sound that the glass breaking like a bottle is beautiful, and then when it shatters, you can use it to stab, right? So that's fun. But I also like the heaviness and the weight of a brick. I'm gonna go Team Brick.
Oh!
Yes.
Okay, so you made Luis very happy today.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I don't like bottles.
Yes. So, Shawn estaba diciendo que es una respuesta muy compleja porque le encanta el sonido del cristal cuando se rompe y que cuando una botella se rompe también puedes apuñalar con ella. Pero también le gusta sentir el peso y la dureza del ladrillo. Pero se queda con Team Ladrillo. Eso no quiere decir que no le gusten las botellas, pero en este caso ha hecho muy feliz a Luis.
Thank you. Dile que Jeffrey Pierce, actores de doblaje que tenemos aquí en España, les hemos hecho la pregunta y últimamente iban diciendo botella, y yo estaba pensando, por favor, Shawn, no me falles.
So lately on the people we've been interviewing, Jeffrey Pierce, for example, that was the voice in the original version for Tommy or Joel?
Yeah.
Tommy.
For Tommy. Yeah. And also in some other dubbing actors and the concert parties we've had, they are lately all of them are Team Bottle and Juice is Team Brick. So Juice was trusting you to put the balance.
So now I'm gonna have half of the audience upset at me because I said Team Brick. It was a trick.
Dice que ahora la mitad de la gente va a estar enfadada con él porque ha dicho Team Ladrillo y que era un truco, Luis, que eso era un truco.
No, somos muy sanos. Lo que pasa es que nos reímos mucho con esto.
No, it's a healthy debate, just for having fun.
Yes. I like them both. Now the next question is, what about a bottle and a brick together?
We'll see. Dice que la pregunta real... Yeah. La pregunta real sería, ¿y qué pasa con una botella y un ladrillo juntos?
No. He's like, no, that's never gonna happen.
Let's ask the chat. Chat, ¿cómo lo veis? Una botella y un ladrillo juntos. So let's see what they say.
See, what I'm thinking is a brick that's covered in a glass. So that way you get the breaking of the glass and the brick, you know, I don't know. Probably not, but it's not realistic.
Dice que se está imaginando un ladrillo recubierto de cristal para que cuando lo tires luego te puedas...
Oh,
Bueno, a lo mejor no es muy realista.
Bueno. Bueno, la bomba de clavos. Dile, la bomba de clavos que no tampoco es que.
The nail bomb also, that's quite a big thing.
Yes. Amazing.
Volviendo a las preguntas del chat, por ejemplo, hay Santos. Santos pregunta que qué le pareció la canción de Ashley. Añado la de Jetlag, diciéndole que si ha podido cantar con Ashley y si le ha llegado a dar consejos.
¿Quién era la primera persona que preguntaba?
Santos.
So, Santos is asking, did you like Ashley's song? And Jetlag is adding to that had you had the opportunity to sing with her?
When I heard Ashley's version of the song, I absolutely loved it, because one of the things I love when someone sings another person's song, like I sing it in the way that I sing it because that's me, that's the authentic way. But one of the things I love about her performance is she took the song, but she didn't copy it exactly how I did it. She made it her own. And I heard that she actually went to a vocal coach to help her translate how Ellie would sing. So I loved it because, you know, no two people sound the same. And I loved her translation. I thought it was much more soft, sad, somber, subtle, and had just an eeriness and a hauntingness that only she could do in her way. So I absolutely loved her version. Yes. And the other question was, you know, I have not gotten to meet her or sing with her, but it is something maybe someday I hope may happen. We'll see.
Dice que la verdad es que le encantó la versión de Ashley, que obviamente cuando una persona hace un cover de otra canción, la versión auténtica es la de él, pero porque él es él y esa es su manera de cantar y es su manera de hacer una canción, pero que Ashley cogió la canción y la hizo propia, la hizo suya, y que incluso ha oído que ella fue a un profesor de canto para que le ayudase a traducir cómo Ellie tendría que cantarla, y que la versión de Ashley es mucho más sombría, es más suave, es más tenue, y que le añade una sensación de como no fantasmagórica, pero como sí, sería fantasmagórica la palabra,
sí,
pero
perfecto.
Más fantasmagórica, algo que te busca, ¿no? Algo que te está cazando. Y que nunca la ha podido conocer, pero que eso es algo que seguro que tiene que pasar en algún momento u otro, que él espera hacerlo.
Perfecto, es claro que sí. Perdona, sé que se nos está yendo del tiempo. Me habías dicho 15 minutos y me sabe muy mal. ¿Te hacemos las últimas preguntas? ¿Te parece bien?
We are running out of time. We're very sorry. This is getting longer than expected.
We can do a little bit longer. It's okay. You guys have been amazing if you want. It's okay. It's up to you.
Thank you. Dice que sí, que sin problema, que dispara las preguntas, que no pasa nada, que habéis sido un público maravilloso y que está súper a gusto.
Thank you, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. My answers are very long.
Dice que no te preocupes, que sus respuestas son muy largas.
No pasa nada. Vale, tengo Demin pregunta si tienes alguna canción en especial que te anima cuando estás bajo de ánimos.
Demi is asking if you have any particular song that cheers you up whenever you feel down.
Oh, it cheers me up. I think "Feeling Good" by Nina Simone is one of them. And there's another song, "John the Revelator" by Sun House is another one. There's a lot of soul music, you know, like I really love Otis Redding. "Change Is Gonna Come." That one's one of my favorites. for an uplifting kind of feeling. Yeah, there's almost too many to name, but those are three that I really like. Yeah.
Ok, dice que sí, que por ejemplo tiene Feeling Blue de Nina Simone, que otra canción que le da muy buen rollo es John the Revelator de House, y que le encanta Otis Redding, y que por ejemplo Change is Gonna Come es una canción que te da ahí como el subidón, ¿no? Te sube a el ánimo. Que hay muchísimas para poder mencionarlas todas, pero que ahí tenéis tres de sus preferidas.
Perfecto. Hay una pregunta de Franco que está en inglés. No sé si tú puedes leerla, Sofi.
Pues, ¿hace cuánto?
No da mucho. Si puedes, empieza Shawn, you look like. ¿La encuentras? Si no te la pongo en el chat.
Sí, si puedes.
¿Sí?
You're just making me find a question, but the chat talks so much that, of course,
Está en el chat. Está en el chat.
Ah, vale. Perdonad, chicos. So Franco's question is, Shawn, you look like a really chill dude, and a lot of your songs have a really peaceful vibe on them. How do you keep yourself in peace as an artist with a huge amount of things you have to do every day? And how you find the sense of tranquility to write that deep and beautiful poetry? Let me translate to Spanish.
Yeah.
Shawn, pareces una persona muy calmada, y que todas tus canciones tienen esa sensación de paz, ¿no? Esa vibra de paz. ¿Cómo te mantienes en paz como artista con la cantidad de cosas que tienes que hacer cada día? ¿Y cómo encuentras esa sensación de tranquilidad para escribir esa poesía tan profunda y tan bonita?
Good. So yeah, you know, as always, when I'm in this controlled environment and everything, and in an interview, it's easy to present what I want people to see. And to be quite honest, sometimes I do get very stressed out. And when we're on tour or when I have a lot going on, it can be easy to just feel overwhelmed, you know. And I think as I get older, I can tell when I'm doing too much. And so these days, you know, I can pull back. I try to schedule my time better. You know, I try to read when I wake up to get a clear mind. And I work out. I try to work out to relieve tension and stress. Playing music helps me relieve a lot of stress as well. But, you know, the honest truth is that, yeah, I look peaceful now, but there are a lot of times where I'm very stressed and I go through a lot of negative emotions as well. And sometimes there's no avoiding it. It happens, you know, you have to take the ups with the downs, and that's just life. Like you know, it's going to happen. As far as how do I find the time to write such music and everything? I'm not writing all the time. That's one thing that I think a lot of people think, that, you know, in my daily life, I'm always just playing music and I'm always writing, and it's not necessarily the case. You know, when I write, I tend to want to be alone and be in solitude. And so I find a few days or a time of the day where I can just separate from everything, so I can really think and really just think about what I want to say and what I'm feeling in the music. But yeah, it's, you know, I feel just the same as probably all of you out there. I have days where I'm stressed. I have days where I'm happy. I have days where I'm sad. I have days where I'm angry sometimes. And, you know, you have to find ways to let go of it and try not to take it out on others. That's been the biggest thing, is, you know, you can feel a certain way and that's okay, but I try not to affect other people with, if I'm in a bad mood or something. That's been my focus in growing and everything.
Thank you. Dice que probablemente puede dar la sensación en un entorno controlado, como puede ser esta entrevista hoy, en la que está muy a gusto, que presenta esa sensación de paz y tranquilidad, pero que muchas veces cuando hay muchas cosas que están pasando a la vez, que esté de tour, que esté grabando, se siente estresado o siente que las cosas le sobrepasan. Que a medida que que se hace mayor, se da cuenta de que tiene más capacidad para decidir cuántas cosas son demasiadas. Que es capaz de organizar mejor su tiempo, intenta leer nada más levantarse para aclarar la mente y empezar el día con la mente mucho más despejada, toca música para quitarse la parte negativa o el estrés, hace mucho deporte. Pero que también tenéis que tener claro que las cosas a veces pasan, o sea, la vida son altos y bajos y tienes que tener lo uno para poder tener lo otro. Entonces, no pasa absolutamente nada cuando crees que algo te está sobrepasando, que es la manera en que es la vida y que dice que a veces pensamos que él está todo el día componiendo o tocando, pero que no es así, que hay muchas veces que él lo que necesita es estar solo y estar consigo mismo, tener un poco de tiempo o unos días para él, para pensar cómo se siente, qué quiere hacer, y que hay días en los que está estresado, otros días en los que está feliz, triste, enfadado, pero que hay que encontrar una manera de sacar todo eso hacia afuera y sin afectar a los demás. Lo más importante es poder gestionarlo. Las cosas pasan y los sentimientos no están ahí, pero gestionarlo sin afectar a los demás. Sacarlo mediante la música, el ejercicio o conseguir hacer claridad de mente mediante lectura, por ejemplo.
Muy bien, muy bien. Tenemos a CPG95 que hace esta pregunta en inglés, está en el chat.
Okay, so CPG95 is asking, when is your next album to come? I guess when is your next album coming out? Así que ¿cuándo sale su próximo disco?
Yeah. So I've been writing this album over the quarantine and through the pandemic. And at first, when the tour got canceled, I was kind of sad and I was depressed and I wasn't feeling very creative at all. But over time, it started to come back and I started to feel better about everything. And I wrote a lot of this album through last year in 2020. And one of the songs, the newest song, is coming out this Friday on May 21st. And it's called Attached. I think a lot of people who only know me through The Last of Us only know of my acoustic music and that kind of genre and the folk music, but I also do a lot of different stuff. And I think people may be surprised. And this album will be, although it's me and although it's still my voice and it's still got the passion and emotion, it's different than anything I've ever put out, The songs, I think the album, for the most part, it will be a rock album. But it will have elements of everything that my previous music has had as well. And the album itself, the whole album, I'm not sure exactly when it'll come out, but the new song comes out this Friday, and I think maybe in another month or two, another song. I'm hoping the whole album will be out by this fall, maybe September or something.
Okay. Dice que este álbum lo escribió durante la cuarentena, a través de la pandemia, y que cuando el tour se canceló no se sentía muy creativo y no estaba muy de humor, pero bueno, que se empezó a sentir mejor poco a poco, empezó a recuperar la creatividad y escribió este álbum durante más o menos el año pasado, 2020. Que este viernes sale la primera canción que se llamará Attached, y que probablemente la gente que le conozca solo por The Last of Us conoce más su trabajo acústico, pero que también hace muchas otras cosas. Y este álbum va a ser diferente, va a ser su voz, al final es él, es quien es, pero que en su mayor parte será un álbum de rock. Que probablemente cada mes o así más o menos irá saliendo una canción nueva y que todo el álbum estará lanzado para otoño, probablemente septiembre si todo va bien.
Muy bien, muchas ganas de escucharlo ya,
I'm very excited too.
Sí, sí,
Dice que sí, que él también tiene muchísimas ganas.
pues sí. De
You
hecho,
understood Jewish perfectly without translation.
que sepas antes que Kumai nos ha estado compartiendo en el chat tu página web, tus redes sociales, para que la gente pueda encontrarte, quien no sepa, por ejemplo, incluso la web donde tienes la tienda. Que no
Yeah,
sé.
Kumai was sharing in the chat. I don't know if you saw it. Kumai was sharing your website, your webpage, your merchandise site, your social media. So if someone
Thank you
still don't
so
know you
much,
yet,
Kamai. That means the world, because you know that's how people can connect to me and find out the current announcements, what's going on, when the music's coming out, and everything like that, or get merch, like you said. Thank you, Kumai. You're doing the job I should have been doing.
muchísimas gracias, Kumai, por por toda la promo que estás haciendo, que le estás haciendo el trabajo que él debería haber hecho, pero que muchísimas gracias porque así le pueden conocer, o sea, pueden estar al día cuando salgan las noticias, cuando salgan anuncios, cuando salga todo, y que muchísimas gracias.
Muy bien. Tenemos a Jane Wilson que dice, ¿cómo se siente cantar rodeado de lobos?
Jim Wilson is asking, how do you feel singing surrounding by wolves?
Oof, it was, I gotta be honest, I don't know if you guys have heard the story or not, but it was in the middle of winter. We were on tour and there was a blizzard that came in. So a couple of our shows got canceled. And we were invited to stay with these people who were at the last show. And we said, yeah, you know, we have nowhere to go. And this was back in 2013. And so we're staying with them. And the lady says, hey, I know a wolf sanctuary. You should call them up and see if they'll let you come up. And I was like, oh yeah, they're just gonna let me come up and hang out with the wolves. And so I called them. I tried it because she was insistent. And they said, yeah, this old mountain man answered the phone. He was lonely. And he was like, yes, come on up. We'll do a tour and we'll show you. So we get there and you know, we see the place, and as we pull up behind the trees, you can see these wolf heads peeking out. They're all behind really big fences, of course, enclosures. We were like, oh man. So he introduces us to a few of them. And then he's like, well, I have a particular one that I want you to play for. And he makes us go to the office and sign sheets that say we give permission just in case anything bad happens. And we should have known then that it was dangerous. So he brings us to this wolf enclosure. And this wolf's name is Rajan, which in Indian means king. It was 170 pounds wolf. He was massive. His paws were as big as my hand. And he was only allowed one female wolf in his cage. And we were like, oh, this is a wolf you want us to play for? Why is he alone? Why is he only allowed one female wolf? And the guy said, well, when he first got here, they normally like to socialize them with all the wolves and give them the pack and the herd mentality that they're used to in nature. And he said that they put him in the pack overnight, and when they checked in the morning, he had killed every single male wolf that was in there. So they were like, this is not a socializing, sociable wolf. This is not. They left him alone, and he only was allowed to have the female. He wouldn't harm her because he loved her. So this is the wolf that the guy wanted us to play for. And we were like, oh, I see why you had us sign the sheet. So he's like, don't worry, it'll be okay, unless it's not. And we were like, okay. So we go into the wolf enclosure, and the guy is like, all right, so you're going to come in here, and you're going to be up front, and I'll be behind you, and the wolf's going to come up to you. He's going to smell you. He might circle you a couple times, and then he's going to tell you whether it's okay or not. And we were like, what if not? And the guy was just looking at us like smiling at him. We were like, oh man, what do we get into? So we said, okay. So we go in, and it's snowing. It's on the mountain. It's covered in snow. It's everywhere. And we go in, and I I'm up there, and the wolf comes up to me first, and he slowly walks up, and it was massive. I was like, oh man, if something goes wrong, this is gonna be bad. So the wolf comes up to me, and he smells me, and then he walks away. He goes around me, and then he comes back and he smells me, and then he's kind of doing this thing like a dog, and I'm like, you want me to pet you, don't you? So I put out my hand to him, and then he smells it, and then he does his nose like this underneath, and I was like, you want me to pet you? And so I start petting the wolf like a dog, and the wolf is good, and he's awesome, and me and the wolf are friends. So the guy was like, okay, see, now step back. So I step back, and the wolf moves over to my friend Baker, who is the other guy in the video with me.
Mm-hmm.
The wolf takes one sniff of Baker, lurches back, gets down and goes, and starts growling. So the guy has a piece of meat. He throws the piece of meat really far. The wolf chases the piece of meat, and the guy goes, okay, let's do the song right now. And so we do the song, and Baker the whole time, if you watch the video, it's on YouTube. It's called American Harps. If you watch the video, Baker, my buddy, keeps looking behind him because he's afraid the wolf is going to bite him. And I'm just laughing and smiling because the wolf liked me. And so we didn't expect it. But halfway through the song, that wolf starts howling. And then like 30 wolves on the mountain join him, howling while we're singing. And it was one of the most beautiful, epic moments of my life. One of a kind experience. I don't think I'll ever have that moment again. It was glorious. It was just a beautiful, beautiful moment. I'll never have again. And to have it on video, to go watch on YouTube is incredible. So I can relive it that way, but I'll never have that feeling again. It was absolutely epic. Yeah.
Wow. Chicos, espero contároslo con la misma emoción, porque no sé si me habéis visto la cara, pero es impresionante. Gracias por la pregunta, porque nos ha contado una historia. Dice que estaban en un tour durante invierno y que empezó a granizar, pero tanto que todos los shows del tour se cancelaron. Y claro, de repente los tíos del último show les dijeron, oye, ¿os queréis quedar con nosotros? Y ellos, vale, sí, porque no tenemos ningún sitio a donde ir. Era en 2013. Y entonces estaban allí con la gente del último concierto, y que de repente a alguien se le ocurre, oye, por cierto, aquí arriba hay un santuario de lobos. Si quieres llamamos, preguntamos a ver si os dejan ir a echar un vistazo. Y el tío, sí, seguro que nos dejan entrar, tal, no sé qué. Total, y llaman, y como el hombre de la montaña estaba solísimo, y dice, sí, por supuesto, veniros. Total, que para allá se van. Y dice que llegan, y detrás de los árboles empiezan a ver cabezas enormes de lobos detrás de vallas. Y entonces el tío les dice, oye, me gustaría que tocaseis para un lobo en concreto. Dice, ¿cómo tocar para un lobo? Y dice, sí, pero venir primero a la oficina. Se van a la oficina y les hacen firmar un montón de papeles de, os doy mi permiso por si hay algo raro que pasa, algo malo que pasa. Y dice, en ese momento me debí dar cuenta de que era peligroso, pero bueno. Total, que el señor les lleva delante de un lobo que estaba solo en una caja. Los lobos son animales de manada. Y dice que se llamaba Raja, que en indio significa rey, y que pesaba 170 libras, que yo creo que eso, no sé, 120 libras deben ser más o menos como 45 kilos, pues un montón, casi más que una persona, o como una persona. Dice que las patas eran como su cabeza de grandes, y que solo le dejaban tener a una hembra en la jaula con él, porque se ve que la primera vez que llegó allí, lo primero que hacen es, pues le introducen en la manada, ellos socializan y entonces hacen las jerarquías, ¿no? Y toda esa mentalidad de manada que tienen. Pues cuando se levantaron al día siguiente había matado a todos los machos de la manada. Entonces ahí vieron que no era un animal sociable, pero a la loba la dejan con él porque la quiere y está bien con ella, no le hace absolutamente nada. Entonces, cuando van para allá le dicen, vale, pues te tienes que meter en la jaula con este lobo. Dice, no te preocupes, que todo estará bien. Bueno, hasta que no lo esté. Pero bueno, Total, que le dice, no te preocupes, tú vas para allá y el lobo ya te dirá si todo está correcto. Y dice, pero ¿cómo voy a saber si el lobo me dice? Dice, tú métete, tú métete. Total, que él se acerca, él se acerca, va hacia el lobo, se queda quieto y entonces empieza como a dar vueltas a su alrededor, se acerca, le huele, se aleja, vuelve a dar otra vuelta y entonces que en un momento el lobo se acerca y le empieza como a hacer como esto que hacen los perros, ¿vale? Para cuando quieren que les acaricies y dice, ¿cómo? ¿Quieres que te acaricie? Y el lobo así dice, ah, que te acaricie. Entonces le empezó a acariciar la cabeza como si fuera un perro. Y entonces era el turno de su amigo Baker, el que nos ha contado de la historia de antes, que es el otro también que sale en el vídeo. Y entonces, según se acerca a su amigo Baker para hacer lo mismo, para que el lobo te dé permiso de acercarte y tocarle, en ese momento empieza el lobo a arquear la espalda y a gruñir de una manera, pero heavy, ¿eh? Shawn estaba acariciando al lobito como si fuera un perro y el otro cagado. Y entonces, si os fijáis en el vídeo, si tenéis la oportunidad de verlo porque está en YouTube, se llama American Hearts. Podéis ver que Baker está todo el rato como mirando para atrás, como diciendo, bueno, yo por si acaso. Y dice que para él es una... que bueno, que tener esa experiencia, que es una experiencia que pasa una vez en la vida, y que además hay un momento en el vídeo que como a mitad de la canción, este lobo enorme se pone a aullar y que el de la montaña otros 30 lobos se ponen a aullar con él. Y entonces, es una experiencia que pasa una sola vez en la vida y encima tenerla grabada para poder revivirlo es impresionante, pero solo el recuerdo, bueno, ya lo habéis visto con qué emoción nos lo ha contado,
Sí, sí.
que ha sido...
Brutal.
Vamos, es que son cosas que pasan de casualidad y por estar en el momento oportuno.
Total. Wow.
It was intense, but it was
Epic.
beautiful.
Epic.
Yeah.
I hope I shared the anecdote with the people who is watching us with the same passion and intensity.
Yes, it sounds like it. It sounds like it.
Okay.
Mira, no quiero alargarme mucho más. Te haré la última pregunta del chat, si te parece, y luego las dos últimas preguntas que hacemos a todos los que entrevistamos y cerramos, ¿te parece, Shawn?
Sí. Okay, so we have the last three questions. The one last question from the chat, and then the last two questions that Luis always does, and that's it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, fresco. Es Esther, la que antes has escuchado cantar, dice, yo no he cantado nunca para nadie y que siento la música para que cantarme... Espérate, ¿cómo has escrito, Esther? Dice, yo no he cantado nunca para nadie y siento que la música para cantarla me hace sentir mucho mejor. La música me ayuda a mejorar mi ánimo. Mi pregunta es, ¿cómo le ayuda la música a él? ¿O cómo le ha ayudado la música en su vida? Eso.
Okay, so Esther, the girl that we heard singing before, she was saying that she never before sang for no one, and she would like to ask how because the music is helping her, and how did the music help you in your life?
Again, I know I've touched on little things, but realistically, it was when I felt alone and when I felt like no one understood me, and I felt like I had all these emotions and feelings inside that I didn't know how to release. You know, I didn't know how to let go of it so I could move on. That's music helped me to release. And then when I couldn't escape maybe a bad situation in life, or my home life wasn't the best at times, and I needed an escape, but I couldn't physically escape, it provided me an escape, you know. And when I needed to feel angry, happy, sad, all different kinds of emotions, music kind of helped me to be able to feel it deeper and to let go of the bad stuff by playing music and by listening to music as well. But, you know, music now more than anything is giving me a purpose in life. You know, it's what I love. I'm able to affect other people in a positive way because of the music that I create, and that is the greatest achievement I think I could ever have. And I'm just, yeah, it's given me everything, you know. It's given me release. It's made me feel powerful. It's made me feel human, and it's made me feel accepted. You know, that's the other thing, is I feel like I'm part of this bigger family now that's all around the world. And although we don't speak the same language, we can understand each other and we accept each other. And despite differences and everything else, it's a beautiful thing to have. So I feel very, very fortunate and lucky.
Dice que bueno, que antes ha dado alguna pincelada de cómo le hacía sentir la música, pero que probablemente la música le ha ayudado sobre todo a cuando se sentía solo, cuando sentía que nadie le entendía, cuando no podía escapar de una situación mala, cuando necesitaba soltarlo, liberarse, pero no podía escapar de una forma real. Tenía como esa escapatoria a otro mundo, a otra dimensión, a otro, llamarlo X, y cuando cuando estaba enfadado o estaba contento o estaba triste, la música también te hace sentir eso de una forma más profunda. También ahora mismo siente que es su propósito en la vida, o sea, que le ha dado un propósito a su vida, que es capaz de afectar a través de su música en una manera positiva a quien le quiera escuchar, y que para él es uno de sus mayores logros el conseguir hacer sentir algo a la gente, y sobre todo le hace sentir, ahora mismo se siente poderoso, humano, aceptado, siente que es parte de una familia mucho más grande de alrededor de todo el mundo, y que aunque no hablemos en la misma lengua o tengamos muchas diferencias, al final nos podemos llegar a entender, y que sobre todo se siente con mucha suerte de poder hacerlo.
Qué bueno, chat. Muchas gracias por las preguntas que habéis dejado. Que sepas que si les damos cuerda al chat, Shawn, no terminaríamos nunca.
Yeah, so if we kept reading questions of the chat, we would never be ending this interview. So thanks for your patience.
Yes, of course.
Vale, Shawn, ¿te gustaría hacernos alguna pregunta a nosotros, a la comunidad?
So, Shawn, one of the first two last questions. Would you like to ask something to the community?
Oh man, let me think about that for a minute. Yeah, so since this is a Spanish, it's a Spanish community, right? And from
Yes.
Spain.
Yes.
One of the things I always like to do when speaking with people, especially interviews in different cultures, is I would like to know who are some of your favorite current artists that musically are similar, not similar, but just like who are some of the musical artists right now that are current that you love, that are very passionate and emotional singers? And then also, who are your classic old singers who are like, I should know, like they are the ones that influenced a lot of music in Spain. Like for us, you know, old blues music like Son House, Robert Johnson, or Aretha Franklin, or Frank Sinatra. Like who are your artists like that? I would like to know.
Vale, dice que os va a hacer dos preguntas. Una, ¿quién son vuestros artistas favoritos actuales, similares o no similares a él? ¿Cuáles son los que hacen vuestro top X? Y luego también quiere escuchar a los clásicos, a los clásicos como él tiene a Aretha Franklin, a Frank Sinatra, a Shawn House, a Robert Johnson, a Muddy Waters. ¿Quién son vuestros clásicos que no pueden faltar?
Me lo están poniendo por el chat.
Yeah. So there.
Yeah. I'll have to. This is going to be online again to read, right? Later.
Yeah.
So I can see this. Yeah. So yeah, send me what you think I should listen to out there, because I'm very curious. I always want to learn more about different cultures and possibly be inspired by a new style.
Que muchísimas gracias, que se los enviéis para que se los pueda leer, porque ahora no le va a dar tiempo a leeros a todos, pero que quiere escucharlo, porque a lo mejor descubre algo que le influencia o algo nuevo que no conocía. Entonces, que si podéis, se los enviéis.
Podemos hacer, si os parece, mañana publicaré un tweet en Twitter diciendo canciones que os gustan a la comunidad. Te etiquetaré, Shawn, y así podrás ver todas las respuestas.
Okay, so Luis tomorrow is going to be posting a tweet asking this community to share some songs with you.
Perfect. I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mejor, ¿no?
Sí.
Bueno, yo te digo, si quieres, yo estaba pensando ahora qué música estaba escuchando actualmente, y es que escucho de todo. Me puedo ir a hip hop, a blues, a rock, a heavy, a disco, techno. Me puedo ir, entonces, claro. Yo le puedo decir a Shawn que depende de mi estado de ánimo, escucharía a uno o a otro, ¿no? Por ejemplo, ahora
Sí.
el que llevo escuchando últimamente es un DJ que se llama... mira, ya no me acuerdo del nombre.
Marshmallow. No. So while Juice gets his thoughts back, he says that his reply would be that he listens to all kinds of music, classic rap, hip hop, rock, soul, blues, everything. He listens to every single genre, and it depends on the mood. He listens to one or the other. And then he was saying that he wanted to say the name of a DJ that he has been listening to lately, but he cannot remember the name right now.
Well, just send it to me later. Send it to me later. You sound very similar to me. I listen to so many different things too. Yeah.
¿Qué he dicho?
Okay. Ay, perdona, yo estoy hoy ya. Perdona.
Estamos cansados ya.
I'm sorry, I just keep forgetting to.
That's
I'm
okay.
So...
It's okay.
It's
been 3 hours. It's okay.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna let you. I gotta take off, man. Not to interrupt you. Just when you leave, pull the front door closed. Lock the handle.
The bottom one.
The bottom one, because that's all you can lock. And then just text me, and then I can arm it from wherever.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Oh, so sorry. They're keeping
That's
you out.
okay. That's okay.
Luis sí que se las que suenas como él, que él escucha todo y que sí que se las pases.
Muy bien, perfecto. Yes. Vale, la última.
The last one. Finally, promised.
Okay.
Shawn James, imagínate que te estás entrevistando a ti mismo. ¿Qué pregunta te harías a ti?
So, imagine you are interviewing yourself. What question would you ask yourself?
Okay.
Esta siempre mata a todos.
That's difficult.
Dile que les pasa a todos.
Just says that that's the hardest question for the end, and everyone takes a bit to think about it.
Yeah. You know, I would one of the biggest things, and I think I've answered this a few times in different ways, but one of the biggest things that I would ask artists, just not to be like mean or anything, but just why do you do what you do? You know, why? Is it fame? Is it money? Is it why do you do what you do? That would be a question. And you know, a lot of artists might not like that question, but once I find out why an artist does what they do, sometimes it'll turn me off from them or it'll make me love them more, you know? So that would be the question, I would say. Am I supposed to answer my question now too?
Yes.
I would say why I do what I do is because without music, I don't think I would be the person that I am. I think that my life would have taken a much darker route, and I would have, you know, no one can say, but I feel like I would not be who I am in the good ways that I am. I think that I would have been a very different person, and I'm very happy about that. And I've seen the difference it's made in me, and how it's enabled me to become one of the best versions of myself I can be. And why I do what I do is threefold overall. It's, you know, like I said, to help people who don't know how to let go of something, or to help people feel something deeply, to help people feel something more than just surface level, like fun, although that's needed sometimes, but to help some people feel something deeply. Number two, to help them release things that they shouldn't be holding on to, you know, bad emotions, bad feelings, bad trauma, other things. And the third, and moving forward, the most important for the future is to inspire other people, to show them and to tell them how I got to where I am and how it's made a difference in my life. And you know, I encourage you to, if you are inspired by me, then please stand on my shoulders and do more than I do, because that's how we get better. That's how civilization keeps going, and we keep finding ways to make the world a better place through music. So, yeah, to feel deeply, to release emotions, and to inspire.
Wow. Dice que probablemente la pregunta que se haría a sí mismo, o la pregunta que siempre le haría a un artista es ¿por qué haces lo que haces? ¿Es por fama? ¿Es por dinero? ¿Es por reconocimiento? Y que probablemente lo que escuche como respuesta es algo que le haría o amarlos ya del todo o pasar un poco más de ellos. Y respondiendo a su propia pregunta, dice que sin la música él no sería la persona que es ahora. Que probablemente su vida hubiese tomado un camino mucho más oscuro y que no sería quien es ahora de una manera buena, es decir, sabe que nadie lo diría, pero que probablemente pues a lo mejor se hubiera desviado. Y que, claro, que la diferencia, él quiere marcar esa diferencia con otros como la que ha marcado la música en sí mismo. Y entonces serían, dijéramos, 3 puntos. 1, le gustaría, hace lo que hace por ayudar a alguien a sentir de una forma mucho más profunda, no quedarse en la superficie, sino profundizar en los sentimientos. 2, ayudarles a deshacerse de cosas a las que no se tendrían que estar sujetando, a dramas, a traumas del pasado, a malos sentimientos, a cosas que te afectan, todo eso que tienes que coger aire y soltar, pues todo eso. Y luego inspirar a la gente que ya habéis visto dónde él ha llegado. Si creéis en mí y queréis hacer lo mismo, hacerlo mejor de lo que yo lo hago, subiros a mis hombros y llegar más lejos. Así es como las civilizaciones avanzan y juntos podemos hacer un mundo mucho mejor.
Thank you.
Shawn, primero, déjame de pedirte mis disculpas porque hemos hecho una entrevista muy larga y no teníamos previsto que durara tanto y no era mi intención. Eso es lo primero.
So first of all, you just want to apologize because it's been almost 3 hours of interview. It was never
okay.
expected to be this long, but he's very sorry for that. But
no, it's okay.
Thank you.
It has to go where it's going to go. So thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, really.
Dice que no te preocupes, que las cosas van por donde tienen que ir y que aprecia muchísimo que le hayas invitado y ha estado muy contento y muy a gusto.
Pues ahora tengo que decirte, Shawn, que muchísimas gracias por haber venido aquí, por haber tenido la paciencia. Bueno, ya sabemos que se han tenido que ir aplazando y aún así has tenido la ilusión de venir. O sea que esto lo agradezco muchísimo. Shawn, eres una persona grandiosa y yo me lo he pasado muy bien, o sea, he disfrutado de todo lo que nos has contado. Realmente, incluso todo el público, todo el chat que ha estado aquí contigo escuchando, han disfrutado maravillosamente contigo. Y es que las gracias, o sea, decirte gracias, no cabe aquí, no cabe. O sea, no cabe. Y de hecho, quiero que añadas, Sofía, que eres una fan de Shawn James.
No. So just can't say thank you enough because this interview has been postponed many times for different reasons, but still yet you really wanted to come and you gave this time to us with you, and you even just moved to another place to get a better Wi-Fi to make this happen, and you've made enjoy so many people tonight that just says that this can thank you cannot fit, it's not
Ah.
enough. But
Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope to come back to Spain soon and hopefully meet all of you guys at shows. So thank you very much, really. It means the world. Thank you all out there on Twitch and everywhere else. Hopefully we see you soon.
dice que muchísimas gracias a vosotros, que lo ha disfrutado muchísimo y que espera y desea poder venir muy pronto a los conciertos que faltan. Y que nada, que os veo muy pronto y que muchísimas gracias porque ha estado muy a gusto.
Perfecto. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you very much. Es que estoy ahora en una nube flotando. Estoy en una nube, ¿sabes?
Perdona, que se me ha desconectado, se me han quedado sin...
No, digo, estoy ahora mismo en una nube flotando.
Juice is in a cloud right now. So.
Well,
okay.
I'm glad. Thank you.
Y
vale.
Sophie es fan, Shawn, fan. No sé cómo decirlo, pero es fan.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I hope to play for you all very soon and to meet you guys and to have some good times. Honestly, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for today.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much.
Thank you, people.
You guys stay safe. Goodbye.
Bye. Nos vemos.
Bye.